and with him the memories of greatness. He made the passion of Ireland become the astonishment of the world, the unthinkable become fact. He carried the heart of Dublin with him and made every fight vicarious for his countrymen, all for one and one for all, turning his punches into statements and any lingering doubts into sources of wonderment. That just maybe there really was a connection to something higher. Now, a new lightweight champion sits on the throne, not the embodiment of a successor, but the instrument in his own destiny. A punishing force from Dagestan who has spent his whole life waiting for the moment he can truly begin his reign by ripping apart the clover piece by piece and tearing into the UFC's most famous body of work. Simply put, a man consumed with the idea of redirecting history. I'm a wanted man. The King of Kings. Tonight, in the most anticipated fight in UFC history, the megastar, a two-division champion who personifies the heart of fighting, is back to confront the greatest juggernaut the lightweight division has ever known, who has never lost a fight, period. This is how it should be. The best against the best. Everything right there for the taking. Legacy, greatness, destiny. Will it be Dagestan or Dublin? The wrestler or the sublime striker? A dream restored or hell unleashed? Will it be what is, or will it be what has always been? There's a simple way to find out who truly belongs on the throne. Lock the door behind them and let them fight, for there can only be one king. It's UFC 229, Khabib versus McGregor, and it starts right now.
Vegas is the epicenter of the sports world tonight as the notorious Conor McGregor makes his grand return to mixed martial arts. And what a challenge he has in front of him here tonight. Well, the Toshiba Plaza's been hopping all week, crawling with the Russians, the Irish, and the rest, many of whom have traveled far and wide to witness history here tonight. Live from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, this is UFC 229, Khabib versus McGregor, presented by Harley-Davidson. When you fire up an HD motorcycle, adrenaline kicks in and refuses to tap out. Check it out at h-d.com/explore. Closed captioning for tonight's telecast, brought to you by Overlord, the new movie from producer J.J. Abrams, in theaters November 9th. The broadcast is also available in Spanish, brought to you by UFCEspanol.com. And with that, thank you so much for being with us tonight for what is a monumental evening for the MMA leader. I'm Sean Henry. So he has elevated the sport of mixed martial arts to truly unprecedented heights. Tonight, after an extended hiatus, Conor McGregor is back, and he's back for the love of the game. But in this return, he draws the most dominant force in the game. That is one Khabib Nurmagomedov, who looks to leave Las Vegas the way he arrived, undefeated and undisputed as the greatest lightweight fighter on planet Earth. Thrilled to welcome in my broadcast partners, Joe Rogan, Dominic Cruz, and if Joe Rogan says this is the biggest fight in UFC history, that is good enough for me.
This is a massive, massive event, not just for mixed martial arts. This is a massive cultural event. This is a massive international event. It's a fight between an undefeated champion who makes men who are world-class fighters look like they have no business being in the octagon with him, and a guy in Conor McGregor who has transcended the sport.
You have a man in Khabib Nurmagomedov who's been wrestling with bears since he was a child versus the Irish gorilla who's been knocking people out with one punch. What else can you ask for?
Well, Khabib Nurmagomedov, of course, had his doubts as to whether or not this opportunity and this fight would materialize. Tonight, Khabib and Conor, it shall be done.
What a fantastic stylistic matchup, ladies and gentlemen. This man, Khabib Nurmagomedov, the champion, is one of the most dominant wrestlers in the history of the sport. Absolutely the most dominant in the history of the lightweight division. He smashes people. He is relentless. He is ruthless. And he has the best ground and pound in the world. But he's facing a man tonight in Conor McGregor that is without a doubt the best opponent he has ever faced in his career, in the biggest event he's ever been a part of his career.
And the man who needs no introduction, obviously, Conor McGregor, who's shown that his precision striking is the answer to anybody he fights. You leave your hands from your face and he will make you pay. He will counter you with precision laser timing, and he's got power in both hands. Not to mention, he can hit you with combinations on the button. His accuracy has been seen by nobody. Nobody has ever hit anybody the way that he hits people, with the amount of punches in one go. And if he hurts you, believe he's on you smelling the blood. He can fight moving forward and backwards.
Well, in the lead up to this fight, of course, McGregor has been at his verbal best as usual. This was the scene September 20th, the first stare down. Khabib Joe's largely been unflappable leading up to this fight tonight.
Well, he is always so calm. But what you're dealing with Conor McGregor. He's a force of nature. He's just a different guy. The event is so huge. The crowd was gigantic. And you're dealing with mental warfare. You're dealing with so many insults, so many jabs taken at you. But so far, Khabib has been calm, cool, and collected like a true champion.
This fight personifies the art of war aspects in life. If you are going to try to get into somebody's head, you need to watch this fight and see how both of these men deal with it.
Well, the hype will give way to the action shortly. UFC 229 is presented in high definition by The Walking Dead. Rick Grimes' final episodes begin tomorrow night, only on AMC. We are honored to have you with us tonight on pay-per-view. Here now, a look at what's coming up. The rest of the fight card is brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3. Get up to 50% off, including exclusive in-game content with the new limited-time UFC 3 Notorious Edition. Available on Xbox One and PS4 until October 16th. So a likely title eliminator in the heavyweight division coming your way tonight. Houston, Texas has got a contender. He is the Black Beast, Derrick Lewis. And with 9 UFC knockouts already to his credit, a 10th here tonight could result in Lewis's first crack at the belt. Of course, looking to stake his claim to a title shot, the towering Russian Alexander Volkov. He knocked out former champ Fabricio Verdum in a main event back in March. And tonight, in yet another high-profile spot, Drago will look to tame the beast. In the light heavyweight division, Ovince St. Preux is set for his 18th UFC appearance. The former Tennessee Volunteer has been an absolute workhorse for the UFC, and with finishes in each of his last 4 wins, Vince has some definite momentum on his side here tonight. But that said, he will enter as the betting underdog against the unbeaten 28-year-old Dominic Reyes. Reyes is a cerebral fighter and a versatile finisher. He has lived up to the hype and then some in getting off to a 3-0 start here in the Big Show. Tonight, Reyes will look to maximize this pay-per-view showcase. These locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Well, a touch overshadowed tonight as he makes his much-anticipated return is the former UFC interim lightweight champion, Tony Ferguson. His training output is truly the stuff of legends, and with his 10-fight winning streak still in tow, El Cucuy is hungry to resume his quest for undisputed UFC greatness. A man who has been at the top of the pack before. Enter Milwaukee's best, Anthony Showtime Pettis. This man is revitalized. He has returned to the form that saw him realize a UFC championship 5 years ago. And Showtime is no stranger to the brightest of lights, and he can vault right back into contention with an upset of Ferguson tonight in Las Vegas. The rules of the Octagon are sponsored by Soul Calibur 6. Bring more than your fists to the fight. Available on October 19th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Soul Calibur 6. Pre-order your copy today. 3 judges score the fight. The bout duration is 3 5-minute rounds, but for championship fights and all UFC main events, we go 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must-scoring system is in effect. The round winner gets 10 points, his or her opponent 9 or fewer, and scoring is based on effective striking and grappling, followed by aggression, and then octagon control in that order. Also of note tonight, the Nevada State Athletic Commission has yet to adopt the newer set of unified rules for MMA. Old rules still in effect tonight. We will, though, have the benefit of instant replay. That is only to look at a fight-ending sequence. So once replay is used, that particular fight cannot be restarted. All competing athletes have been made aware. What an atmosphere at T-Mobile Arena tonight. These crowd shots brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. All right, the table is now set for our biggest show of 2018. Let us get to it. Well, few women have more world-class experience than Felice Herrig and Michelle Waterson tonight. A high-profile opportunity for them to put it to good use. Head home, a bona fide contender. Veteran strawweights Michelle Waterson and Felice Herrig have built their resumes the old-fashioned way by facing the best of the best. Tonight, the two will finally meet on the greatest proving ground in the sport.
I trained for this, I'm prepared for this, and I do train very hard. So I am very prepared. I'm prepared for a war, and I embrace it.
I'm excited to fight Felice. Her and I have been on this journey for a very long time, and it's about time that we meet in the octagon.
Initially known for her stellar kickboxing game, Felice Herrig has evolved over the years into a dangerous threat everywhere an MMA fight can go. And with wins in 4 of her last 5 bouts, Lil Bulldog is proving she's on the verge of a title run.
It's okay if Michelle underestimates me. It's okay if Michelle is confident. At the end of the night, the better woman is going to win, and I believe that woman is me.
A former Invicta FC champion at 105 pounds, Michelle Waterson returned to strawweight in 2015. And the results have been strong to quite strong. Submission wins over Angela Magana and Paige Van Zandt, and a big decision win over Courtney Casey, all serving to establish the Karate Hottie as one of the division's best.
Felice is in for the best, most prepared Michelle Waterson the world has ever seen.
So here is the number 9 ranked strawweight contender, Felice Herrig, arriving at the biggest fight of her professional life. Tonight's fighter walkouts are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. And it really has been amazing, Joe, to see the evolution of Felice Herrig. She's never been finished as a pro and continues to evolve and put her MMA game together.
She really does. Her endurance has increased. Her grappling ability has increased. Her grappling coach behind her there, Jeff Kern, who's a really world-class black belt. What you've seen from her is her sort of coming into her own as a professional. And a big part of that has been her endurance. Her endurance has really come up. It was a problem earlier in her career.
Right.
She's shored up that problem, and she's one of the strongest women in this division.
I talked to Curran about Felice and how they prepared her for this fight, and they said that the idea is to keep the pressure so heavy on Waterson and be able to keep the striking going so much that they get to force her to try to create grappling scenarios, get her to force the shot, and we can stop the shot, and then we know we have her. Now we're picking her apart. Now we're beating her. So the idea is non-stop pressure, use the size against her, and make sure that we're able to make Michelle Waterson want to grapple. If we can get her there, we're going to get the win.
Yeah, overall output, certainly a big focus for Team Herrig coming in here tonight. When she assessed her last fight against Karolina Kowalkiewicz, just didn't feel like she was busy enough and ended up on the wrong end of the scorecards there. But conditioning, Joe, I mean, you nailed it. She said she was always go, 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 and didn't have the requisite endurance to be that go, go, go type of fighter. Now she feels like she can put in a hard 15 minutes and be no worse for wear.
And what she does have to her advantage is great physical strength and really tremendous grappling ability.
So here is the mixed martial artist known as the Karate Hottie, 8th ranked Michelle Waterson, arriving at her 6th UFC appearance here tonight. And Dom, she does so on the strength of one of the best performances of her career, proving she can hang with the strongest women in this division as she got past Courtney Casey back in April.
And that's what she said. She said facing Courtney Casey gave her so much confidence in facing these bigger, stronger women. She says, I have the speed advantage. I have the fluidity, the rhythm, and the technical advantage in these sequences because they're so big, they're a little slower. She says, I'm a fighter, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I do all these things, but first and foremost, I'm here to win, and I'm going after the title. I'm going to take advantage of this huge card we're on and show everybody why I'm the best in the world, and that's why she's here today.
And there is her husband, Joshua Gomez, entrenched in her corner as usual. Mike Winklejohn in the building as well. This fighter description brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC, the former Invicta FC atomweight champion. That is 105 pounds. And I think most salient here, she's landed at least one takedown in every UFC fight. She believes she has more paths to victory overall than Felice in this matchup.
Well, it's going to be really interesting if she does decide to grapple with her, because her striking is outstanding. Her nickname, the Karate Hottie, comes from that traditional martial arts background. Very good with her distance, uses a lot of traditional martial arts techniques like front leg, side kicks, and started off her UFC career with 2 outstanding submission victories.
All right, the combatant's just about ready to go. This Tale of the Tape is brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Waterson, 32 years old. Felice Herrig is 34. Herrig is taller by an inch. We'll see if she can maximize what is a 3-inch edge in reach. All right, now for the official introductions of this pay-per-view opener, we turn it over to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for UFC 229, Khabib versus McGregor, presented by Harley-Davidson. Get your first taste of Harley-Davidson adrenaline at h-d.com. Now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC strawweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 14 wins, 7 losses. She stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 115.5 pounds. Fighting out of Crystal Lake, Illinois, presenting the #9 strawweight rated contender in the world, Felice Little Bulldog Herrig. And now introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 15 wins, 6 losses. She stands 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 115 pounds. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, presenting the #8 ranked strawweight contender in the world, the Karate Hottie, Michelle Waterson. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog, our referee for this one in the 115-pound division. The beautiful Ariane Celeste getting us started for round 1 of a possible 3. Brittany Palmer, Brooklyn Wren in the building with us tonight in Las Vegas. Tonight's Fight Clock is brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Felice Herrig is in blue. Waterson is in the black with gray.
And you know, we talk about Felice's grappling. We got to remember she had a 23-5 pro kickboxing record.
Right.
So a lot of Muay Thai experience as well.
And Herrig said that Waterson was offered this fight in her pro debut back in the day, but turned it down. These girls have been on each other's respective radars. They were on a reality show, Muay Thai reality show, Fight Girls, back in 2007. Finally getting a chance to throw heat at one another here tonight.
Tremendous pressure right away, as you were saying, Dom, by Felice Herrig.
And the question is, how often does a fighter fight running backwards, moving backwards? I don't want to say running because Michelle Waterson's being technical with her movement, but the more you move backwards, you know, Muhammad Ali used to run miles and miles backwards to prepare his body for that type of fight because he always fought moving back. So Felice Herrig, is this pressure going to wear on Waterson as the fight moves on? That's a question that we got to see.
And there you see that front leg side kick we were talking about from Waterson. She will utilize that as well as the front leg roundhouse kick. And she does it very quick. Look at that, right up to the face. Very nicely done.
Her legs, she moves around like there are arms. I mean, she throws them up there so quick, it's like a jab. She's got side kicks, she's got high kicks. She already landed 2 of those high kicks to Felice's face in the beginning of this fight. So she immediately demands respect in the striking. Whether you think you can walk her down or she's small or not, she will tag you if you're not careful.
Yeah, she throws those high kicks with no wind-up, too. But she throws them karate style. She doesn't switch Muay Thai style. Look at that front leg side kick to the thigh.
And that's the type of stuff, it doesn't look like it does much, but it throws off your rhythm. It throws off your pressure. Now, Felice, look, the pressure's slowed down now. It's not the same as the very beginning. It's hard because you end up chasing her.
Sorry, Dom. We're seeing a lot of that front leg side take to the thigh. Darren Till used it a lot against Wonder Boy. We saw Robert Emerson. He's big. What's going on right here? Interesting. What Michelle's doing is trying to meet her with that front leg as Felice puts that pressure on her.
She's trying to get Felice to chase her, and that's what's happening. Instead of Felice heading her off and leading her other leg which way she's circling, she's following her, and that sets up the power and the striking of Waterson right now. Felice needs to head her off instead of following her around the octagon, chasing her.
Again, she goes to that front leg side kick.
And I think we originally saw that front leg kick to the knee from John Jones, to be honest. I think that was the first one I've ever seen use it. He showed it to me one time. Well, and it was devastating.
Yoel Romero used it against Robert Whittaker, and then Whittaker turned around and used it back on him. We're seeing it, I mean, with lesser degree of success earlier in the UFC, but we're seeing it a lot now.
You see the confidence just pouring out of Michelle Waterson. A picture of focus here during fight week. She's really trying to maximize these 4 or 5 prime years, built a home gym that she called her sanctuary. Off to a pretty good start here tonight. Less than 2 minutes now to go round 1.
Dom, it's interesting how those techniques just, once one person finds success with it, you see it over and over again. And Felice with the clinch here.
Watch the headlock. This is where Michelle Waterson hits a lot of her headlocks.
And this is something Waterson trained a lot for. Felice habitually goes to these body locks.
And with double underhooks, you're asking for it. So let's see. Felice got her against the fence, so that takes away the hips for the headlock. So that's the good news. But this is where Waterson has gotten a lot of her takedowns. She's pretty comfortable here. So Felice needs to be careful with her head position and the underhooks and not overcommit to the positioning.
One of the things that we were saying about Felice is that she's very physically strong, and she likes to impose that strength and let her opponents know just how much horsepower she's got.
She's been doing this an extremely long time, Harry. I mean, she's got tons of experience, and her grappling has gotten so much better over the years. So I hope this goes to the ground. These ladies are both very well-rounded.
Yeah, good elbow in there by Waterson.
Nice, Michelle.
Herrig showing off a strength advantage here early. One underhook, maintaining control up against the fence.
She's really using a lot of energy here. A lot of physical strength, not a lot. I mean, she's really trying to bulldog her way, hence the nickname, Little Bulldog.
Herrig's slight favorite at close tonight, about -125.
People generally aren't that comfortable when somebody has double underhooks on them, but Waterson, really good balance, strong core, and she's able to not give up a takedown there, which is surprising.
Good knee to the neck there by Waterson. Good shot off the clinch.
Yep, nice stick by Waterson at the end of the round. Tonight's Corner Cam is brought to you by Body Armor. Switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. More natural, more electrolytes, better sports drink. Grab yours at participating Speedway stores.
Good breath. Good. Outside all day long in distractions. All day long. You feel it? All day long, Hunter. She wants to get you back on that clinch in the cage. She's coming hard.
Left kick. So if you start throwing that straight down the pipe, you'll be fine. But if you fake it and she flicks that high kick, then I want you closing that gap faster. She's not going to be able to reset and throw a second kick, okay?
And as we see here, this kick, left kick right to the chin of Herrig, just like, hey, hold on a second, what was that? And then another one to the neck, just a side kick, very different type of kicks that landed. And a big right and a left by Herrig, and she gets straight into the clinch and controls her on the fence there. She showed her strength, Herrig, at the end of that round.
Second round, fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Fight!
Air Asia, now everyone can fly. Round 2 here, Felice Herrig, Michelle Waterson. Good corner work on both sides there after round 1.
Herrig doing the right thing, coming to the pressure right off the bat. I think she's got the advantage in the clinch because she's a little stronger. Just needs to be technical here.
Good knees by both ladies there in the clinch.
And a right hand, out of the break from Michelle Waterson. You wonder how this fight atmosphere will play on some of these athletes here tonight. A lot of them are UFC tested, but this is a different beast tonight.
It's a good point. This is a gigantic pay-per-view. They know all eyes are on this event.
Well, Herrig looking so much stronger right now than Waterson, just a lot bigger and pushing her against the fence. And really, Waterson went for the clinch on that one. She gives the underhooks to Herrig right off the bat. And it's because she's comfortable, she's usually able to take people down with these overhooks, with headlocks, land the body shots, and create judo transitions. But Herrig looks very strong here.
A couple good knees there by Waterson, though, in the clinch. I like Waterson on the outside. I like her using those unusual traditional martial arts skills that are hard to read, like that front leg round kick and the front leg side kick to the face that we saw. I think she has an advantage there. And if I was in her corner, I'd be asking her to get out of here.
I agree with you 100%. I think this style fight benefits Felice Herrig.
Yeah, Felice is strong.
Very.
You look at that girl, she's jacked. And she
she's
loves
tall.
it. Yeah, and she loves this kind of fighting.
And what I love is Michelle Waterson's a little shorter, so that is when you want to utilize the underhooks the most if you're Felice Herrig, because you can jack her up off the ground, and that's why you're not seeing Waterson be able to land the headlocks and the throws, is because Herrig's getting the underhooks and lifting her up off the floor because she's a little taller with those underhooks.
So Jeff Curran's idea of this fight was have Felice use this kind of style, force some sort of a clinch takedown situation. They think she will shine in the grappling if it goes to the ground.
That's what he was saying, yes. The game plan seems to be going.
That was a nice elbow there by Waterson, though.
Yeah, she keeps going back to the well with those elbows, particularly out of the break. 3 minutes.
Over and
Now to go in round 2.
And there's that round kick again. Man.
That kick is powerful.
She's slick with it, too.
She needs to keep throwing it.
Oh, very nice. Look at that. Michelle Waterson.
There's the throw she's been looking for the whole time, and she does it with overhooks.
Big shots by Waterson.
Very nice.
So the tide has turned a little bit here midway through round 2. We'll see what Waterson can do with Herrig on her back.
This is where Waterson has shined. She gets the takedown, and then it somewhat just seems to frustrate the females as she fights, and she beats them up on the top very well. She's got good top pressure, and she makes good decisions in the grappling exchanges.
Good elbow there, and I like how she keeps that forearm on Felice's neck. Keeps her uncomfortable.
Felice needs to create some space, get her feet maybe on the hips of Waterson. Waterson's too high up towards her head, so she's going to be able to keep her down, that pressure.
2 minutes to go in round 2. Waterson has now secured a takedown against all 6 of her UFC opponents. Herrig breathing heavy, mouth open.
Now this is big also for Waterson because, as you were saying before, Felice Herrig's coach wanted this to happen. They wanted to go to the ground. They just didn't want it like this.
Yeah, they didn't expect for Waterson to be able to get that takedown the way she did. And she's just slick. She does it over and over in all her fights. If she gets in that clinch, she's shown she can get those judo takedowns.
2 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belts here, but Waterson, the far greater submission threat. 9 of her 15 pro wins have come by submission.
And Herrig just looks like she's okay just hanging out here for a minute. I'm not sure why, because I've seen her move on her back, and she usually has a lot more tools than this.
Well, she's posturing up now. Full guard now. Better position for Herrig, but not a lot of time to work.
Herrig controlling posture here, perhaps just trying to survive and move on to that 3rd and final round. Waterson has stayed pretty busy here inside the guard.
Waterson's got her smashed up against the cage.
And how about the former atomweight, Michelle Waterson, bullying Felice Herrig here towards the end of round 2.
Almost put herself into a triangle situation, spotted it at the last second. Waterson got that right hand in there.
Yeah, not a good round for Felice Herrig, but a very good one for Michelle Waterson. Again, almost in a triangle situation.
10 minutes down, 5 to go. Tonight's Corner Cam is brought to you by Body Armor. Switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. More natural, more electrolytes, better sports drink. Grab yours at participating Speedway stores.
Sit down. Water. You good? Okay. 3 deep breaths. Control that breathing. We can get her on the guard, so this is the thing. If she takes her down again, we're getting right after it. You hear me? but you can win with the boxing. You have to just keep cutting her off an angle. Start landing hard shots. I'm telling you, your left hook hit. Your left hook landed. She's going to try to point you and move, point you and move. If we clinch with her, she's got a good hip, good hips, good reversal, good low center of gravity, right? It's a little difficult right now to get low on her, so.
And here we see Watterson with a nice elbow, and there's another one right there on the clinch. Now here's the throw. Look at this. Beautifully done by Michelle Watterson.
All right, round 3 brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Big deep breath from Felice Herrig. We'll see if she can rally here after a difficult round 2. Jeff Curran putting a lot of different things in the ear of Herrig after that round.
That foot comes up so quick.
Yeah, man. Spent a lot of time up against the fence in this fight. Oh, there's that left hook.
It looks like Curran was able to get in the head of Herrig pretty well, because that was a different type of strikes that she just went for right there. That was everything she had. She knows she's down, I think. And Herrig's doing a good job trying to get this done. She's not out of this fight yet.
Watterson again with that sideways karate stance. And look at this, looks for the clinch. Oh, lines up on the back. Immediately tries to go to an armbar though.
And it was really good timing on that takedown. Just didn't finish it quite perfectly. That was beautiful.
Yes. Nasty elbows from the bottom by Watterson.
That might be cutting her.
Watterson would appear to be the fresher fighter here with less than 4 minutes to go in this one.
This is what Curran wanted right here. So this is what they wanted on their team. Let's see what Herrig can do with this top position.
And Watterson, she's climbing up Felice's back with those legs. Look at these elbows.
Another elbow for good measure from the karate hottie. 3.5 minutes now to go.
Well, Michelle Watterson's doing so well. She's keeping the feet on the hips, and when Herrig goes to come up towards her head to get the feet off her hips, she switches to an armbar, tries to roll over the top, and then goes back to the elbows to the top of the head. I mean, she's just nonstop working here, even though she's on her back, and it can create space for her if she utilizes it correctly.
And these are good elbows, too.
Right, her ground strikes are far more effective than Herrig's are raining down from the top.
Well, you see the feet on the hips is causing problems for Herrig because Herrig's trying to squeeze. She needs to pass, twist her hips, get the feet off the hips, off of her hips. Watterson can't keep her feet there. Otherwise, Herrig's not going to be able to hold her down.
Well, this strawweight division far and away the deepest among the women in the UFC. Not a lot of margin for error. A huge 3 minutes here.
Omoplata. She's switching over to a shoulder lock, turning it over in front of her face.
Very flexible. I mean, crazy flexibility there. Nice job by Herrig, excuse me.
Yeah, she didn't go all the way through with that.
Would benefit Herrig to pass, I think. Then she wouldn't need so many elbows. Maybe go to half guard. Maybe try at least side mount something. But sitting in this guard is giving Watterson the opportunity to put the feet on the hips and elbow her.
And Watterson is doing a great job of slicing across.
And you heard Jason Herzog just say to Felice Herrig, you got to work when you're on top. She wasn't, thus the stand-up.
Nice defense by Herrig. She put her head to the outside and almost tried like a switch type of deal. Very interesting defense.
Under 2 minutes now to decide this one. Number 8 versus number 9 in the strawweight division. Body lock now for Herrig. But you heard Jeff Curran laud the hips of Michelle Watterson.
Nice knee up the middle by Watterson. She pushes her off.
Watterson circling away from that power left of Herrig. Felice works the body now.
There's that front leg side kick to the thigh again.
Pretty good response here from Herrig in this third and final round. Under a minute now to go.
Herrig really Herrig really making good decisions. She did a good job defending that takedown. She really needs to up the offense here, though. She's really going to get this decision.
Nice front kick to the face by Waterson.
Those kicks have just really landed so many times in this fight.
Oh, beautiful knee to the body lands for Waterson here down the stretch. Fence grab from Herrig, Herzog all over it. And there's Waterson going back to the elbow. Another strong showcase for this 115-pound division. Michelle Waterson and Felice Herrig go the distance tonight. Checking the nose of Felice Herrig. Waterson appears happy with her performance here tonight. This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Herrig times the right hand, and she gets countered with a side kick to the jaw, and then an elbow on almost all the breaks. Lots of good knees, but those elbows on the breaks really kept landing. Herrig did a great job with the double underhooks, but on this one, she gets her hips taken and taken down, and a good takedown attempt by Waterson, countered by Felice Herrig to grind out that top position. Waterson non-stop was throwing the elbows, keeping the feet on the hips, staying very active from her back, and another huge teep kick to the face by Waterson. Try to get Herrig off of her. I mean, these ladies let it all hang out. Awesome fight by them.
All right, these fighter stats brought to you by San Manuel Casino. With the most slots on the West Coast, visit sanmanuel.com for all thrill details. So you see tightly contested, at least in terms of these significant strikes in all 3 rounds. Big second round for Michelle Waterson. Did she do enough here tonight to make it 2 consecutive wins?
Very close fight. Hard to judge.
The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS, now Metro by T-Mobile. Discover the smarter way to get unlimited and see what's new on October 8th. With that official decision, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. The judges score the contest 30-26, 29-28, and 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, the Karate Ate, Michelle Waterson.
Congratulations. I'm here with Michelle Waterson. Congratulations on an excellent victory over a very tough Felice Herrig. And you used all your skills tonight, your traditional martial arts skills, your ground skills. How satisfying is this victory?
I listened to you guys talk about who should be in contention for that belt, and it disappoints me that I'm not in that talk. So I wanted to come here tonight and show that I'm well-rounded mixed martial artist. I have 2 goals. I want to be a superhero in the cage, and I want to be a superstar on the big screen. I want to be the first UFC champ that's a mom.
Well, you certainly have the potential to do that, and this was a contest between 2 top 10 contenders, so you will move up and you will get closer to that ever-elusive shot at the title. Give us your thoughts on how this fight played out.
I just want to thank Felice, because her and I have been in this game for a really long time, over a decade, and it's hard to keep your mind sharp and stay hungry when you're in it for that long. So thank you, Felice, for taking the fight and allowing me to share part of my life with you. I'm just excited. I'm excited that I'm able to start utilizing the things that I learned at practice underneath these bright lights.
Will you continue to improve? Thank you very much for an excellent fight. We look forward to seeing you again. Michelle Waterson, ladies and gentlemen.
And what a bond it is between Michelle Waterson and her daughter, Araya. And what a performance tonight. That post-fight interview brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3. Get up to 50% off, including exclusive in-game content with the new limited-time UFC 3 Notorious edition, available on Xbox One and PS4 until October 16th. The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyright work is illegal and punishable. We could be in for some fireworks here tonight, Dom. Certainly some good video provided by the Black Beast and Alexander Volkov here on Friday.
Derek Lewis literally said, look, I got one round where if he survives that, I'll be shocked. I am coming out and sprinting for 5 minutes, and if I don't have anything left at the end of that first round, don't get mad at me, because I will give you everything I have for 5 minutes. That's just the way it is. Those were his literal words at the press conference. And as we see here, these guys are ready to go.
And for Derek Lewis, his last performance against Francis Ngannou left a little bit to be desired. You know, the judges aren't always needed for the big boys. The Black Beast would like to keep them out of the equation here tonight. And with each passing UFC win, Alexander Volkov continues to evolve and impress. If he can keep it going here against Derek Lewis, it may just land Drago a shot at the heavyweight title. When top 5 heavyweight contenders Derek Lewis and Alexander Volkov meet in the octagon tonight, the stage is set for perhaps the division's most important non-championship clash of 2018, with the winner expected to have a solid case to challenge for the title next year.
I believe this fight right here does have the potential to be fight of the night, because I will be pushing the pace going forward and trying to finish this guy.
Derek Lewis отличный вызов для меня, потому что он так же, как и я, ударник, и мы оба можем продемонстрировать отличное выступление сегодня вечером.
In a history-making year for Russian MMA, Moscow's Alexander Volkov certainly did his part with a performance-of-the-night knockout of Fabricio Verdum back in March. Now Drago will attempt to add another chapter to his story by scoring his 7th consecutive win, this one over Derek Lewis.
Моя главная цель в UFC – это пояс, и этот бой на один шаг приблизит меня к титульному поединку.
Among the most popular fighters in any division, it's a given that Texas knockout artist Derek Lewis will bring the fans along with him wherever he goes. But should he earn his 12th UFC win tonight, the Black Beast might just have the body of work that pushes him to the top of the heap and a crack at heavyweight supremacy.
I'm always going for the knockout, and I'm very confident that I could get him out of there in the first round.
So the spotlight has landed on Alexander Volkov here tonight. And Joe, when Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier fought for the heavyweight title in July, the backup plan was Alexander Volkov. He was brought in to make weight in case one of those guys couldn't compete. Gives you some inkling as to how the promotion feels about this Russian heavyweight.
How a lot of people feel, including me. That's the dark horse, in my opinion. I mean, if you look at the performance that he had against former champion Fabricio Verdum, he put on a show and put Fabricio away. He is a gigantic man, long and tall, very difficult to deal with, and a tremendous amount of experience both in the UFC and outside of it. He was very seasoned before he got to the UFC, and he's been undefeated in the UFC. But of course, his most impressive performance is against the 7-foot-tall Stefan Struve, and then of course against Fabricio Verdum in his last fight. Those are 2 huge victories.
What I like about Volkov is look at his size, look at his stature, and he never gets tired. He focuses on his conditioning. I've seen him go fight after fight, and he does, right when you think he's starting to get tired, it's like he gets a second wind and just starts throwing knees up the middle, elbows, everything you can think of. This guy comes in shape, and he's got the body and the strength behind it. And he just said he just earned his brown belt. You haven't even seen his ground game yet, so I'm very interested to see what if he decides to take it down. What can he do to somebody like Derek Lewis on his back? And what about those knees with Derek Lewis leaning over the top of his lead leg the way that he does? Can he land those? Can he see a counter there? I'm very interested in the stature of this guy and see how he shows up against a brawler like Derek Lewis.
Volkov, former 3-time Pancration champ of Moscow, M1 global heavyweight champ back in 2016. He could be one win away from a shot at that elusive UFC heavyweight gold. So here is the undeniable knockout threat, the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. And Dom, outstanding in terms of the ground strikes, the ability to put you away on the ground. Sort of a throwback type heavyweight in a lot of respects.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is the culmination of just brawling at its finest. He has so much confidence in his hands. And as you see here, I mean, when he connects, he puts you out. It's not a TKO. He's sleeping you. You're going night-night. It's over. And he has so much confidence because he's done it time and time again. However, he did hurt his back. L4, L5. This guy is fighting with herniated disc in his back. That's how tough he is. He's willing to go out here, lay the body on the line, put this performance, and show up. I wonder, though, how much will that back injury hold him up in this fight? He said, I have one round that's all I need. I will finish him in the first round. He said, I don't care if I get tired or not. I'm coming to finish in one.
Yeah, he's had notorious back problems in the past. Pulled out of a fight with Fabricio Verdum because of that back. But he's a wild man, and he's definitely a wild card. And the guy has hammers. He throws some serious bombs, and if they land, Volkov could be in trouble. And I got to tell you, he's got the best Instagram page out of any mixed martial arts guy. His Instagram page is hilarious. If there's a crazy video on the internet and you're looking for it, go to Derek Lewis's Instagram. He's got it on there until it gets pulled off the internet.
Right, until they pull it down. The Black Beast has touched down inside the octagon. Alexander Volkov, the challenge tonight. This tale of the tape brought to you by Modelo Especial. Brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Derek Lewis, 33 years old. Alexander Volkov will be 30 later this month. Volkov, the taller man by 4 inches, slightly less pronounced in the reach department, where Volkov will have a 1-inch advantage. All right, now for the particulars, back inside to the venerable Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 30 wins, 6 losses. He stands 6 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 251 pounds. Fighting out of Moscow, Russia, presenting the number 5 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Alexander Drago Volkov. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a brawler holding a professional record, 20 wins, 5 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 265 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, presenting the number 2 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Derek the Black Beast Lewis. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee for this one in the heavyweight division. Brittany Palmer, thank you very much. High stakes here for Derek Lewis and his counterpart, Alexander Volkov. Tonight's fight clock is brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Lewis is in black, Alexander Volkov in gray. And that fight that Lewis had against Verdum, it was October 2017, and Derek forced to pull out just a few hours before the fight, but he's worked hard on his posture. He's stretching pre and post workout now, and feels like his back hasn't felt this good in years. We'll see if it pays dividends tonight.
Well, there's been a lot of guys with back injuries, but you got to wonder what he could do to fix that, whether it's surgically or through some sort of long-term therapy, but he continues to fight. It's very difficult to train when you have that kind of an injury.
Right.
Almost impossible, Joe. I mean, the fact that he said it limited his training a lot, so I'm curious to see what kind of output he has even in this first round.
Did you ask him what he does to supplement with it for endurance?
Well, he doesn't have any supplements. He just says, I got a round that I'm going to try to take this guy out in. That's what he said. Wow. So let's see what happens here.
He got tagged. Front kick to the body. He's hurt.
That body shot hurt him.
Volkov's all over him.
The knees and the teep kick to the belly already hurt so bad.
Lewis loads up, nothing doing there. Strong start for Drago.
He's not going to go out easy, Derek Lewis. I'm not going to make this easy.
Drago just shook his left hand.
Oh my God.
Counter right from Volkov.
Huge right uppercut. Lands. Derek Lewis trying to tough it out. Something might have hurt his eye or his nose, because you don't react like that unless it lands really wrong.
I'm not sure.
See, his eye might be, it could be his orbital, but he's toughing it out. He don't care. Let's see what happens here.
Pay attention to Volkov's left hand. He was shaking it earlier. He accidentally poked him.
Stop. Good sportsmanship by Volkov to even say that.
Yeah.
He could have kept going. Nobody would have known.
Volkov's pointing to his mouth, though.
What?
He's saying that he fish hooked him.
You ready to fight?
He's saying something.
Why are you stopping the fight? It's okay. It's time to fight.
I'm not exactly sure what he's saying.
I think he was saying that Volkov was stopping it himself, but there was no eye poke. He just stopped because he thought he was poking him in the eye, and Volkov could have kept going.
Yeah, you can lose a fight for calling timeout.
Yeah.
2 minutes have gone by. Volkov goes high with the kick, nothing doing.
I may be mistaken, but I felt like he was pointing towards his mouth, saying that Derek Lewis like reached into his mouth or something.
Huh.
I don't know, though. That was confusing.
He's already landed some big shots to the body of Lewis, and he keeps going to the body with those punches and teep kicks.
And I'm being told there was no eye poke, so Herb Dean largely did his job there. Volkov switching up the footwork here early.
Where I'm sure the truck will isolate it.
Wow, what a crazy looking takedown he attempted.
Derek Lewis has had a penchant for fighting well, or at least surviving well off of his back in his UFC tenure. Trying to control posture here. Just over 2 minutes to go in our opening round.
Lewis uses that underhook to get back up to his feet.
Keep those hands tight. Oh, that's the hand that he said he needed to land, and there it is. He only needs one of those.
Yeah, that's what makes Derek Lewis so fun to watch. Hammers. Oh, big takedown.
So the high amplitude takedown here from Alexander Volkov. Let's see what he can do with it. Short elbows.
We might not see Derek Lewis get up from this. He might just be okay with just waiting it out, waiting for the round to start over.
We've seen Lewis rally from adversity before. He got dropped by Tim Johnson early, came back to win that fight. Slow start against Shamil Abdurakhimov in a main event. But not necessarily the start he was looking for tonight, though.
There's definitely no quit in Derek Lewis, though. I mean, you could hurt him, and he could still knock you out with one punch, as you saw. He grabbed his eye, took him 3 steps back. The second Volkov came at him, he threw an overhand right, almost got him.
Volkov's taking his back here.
And this is that brown belt he was talking about. That let's see if he can utilize it and get the finish here. I mean, he's got the back.
He may switch to the arm. He may switch to the left arm. The way he's holding the wrist there.
Definitely there, Joe. You're exactly right. But he's not setting the legs up exactly like he's going to do that.
Yeah, he might switch. Look at this. Good job by Volkov staying on the back.
Nice by Derek Lewis.
Not a man you want on top of you in this situation. Under 30 seconds to go in the round.
Big elbow by Lewis.
He's just so strong.
Oh! Ground and pound from Derek Lewis here. Crowd getting behind the Black Beast. Minutes in the can. Tonight's Corner Can is brought to you by Body Armor. Switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. More natural, more electrolytes, better sports drink. Grab yours at participating Speedway stores. Bob Perez, take it away.
Significant swelling to the left eye of Derek Lewis.
I need you breathing. Here you go. Hold. All right, you're fighting in Volkov range. I need you fighting in Derek Lewis range. You have to stay inside of his kicking range, buddy. He's going to keep attacking the belly, okay? So we have to close that gap. Hands stay high, and you're hitting one shot at a time. I need fluidity in your strikes. I need a few punches.
You go to the ground, he's giving that underhook every time.
Big punch lands. And as we saw, Volkov is the one who actually stops, but there was no eye poke. That was just the glove straight into the eye. And we saw here a big punch, and then he goes straight to the gut, and that hurt Derek Lewis. But how about the toughness? I mean, he came back. He did not quit. He's getting hit with big punches by Volkov. Gets put down a couple times, and then a nice takedown from a trip, double underhook body lock trip here. And big ground and pound by Derek Lewis at the end of that round. He was able to reverse Volkov after that takedown. and just land big shots to end that round. That's a tough round to score.
UFC 229, Khabib versus McGregor is presented by Harley-Davidson. When you fire up an HD motorcycle, adrenaline kicks in and refuses to tap out. Check it out at h-d.com/explore.
And Derek Lewis's corners are exactly right. Look how far out he is. I mean, that's Volkov range right there. You can't be eating those kicks, because what he'll do is he'll jab you, teep you, and kick you, and then when you run in, he's going to knee you or elbow you, and that's what we've seen so far. But Derek Lewis needs to get in that pocket ASAP.
Oh, nice right hand.
Oh, he stiffened up.
Lewis covering up.
Lewis looking tired.
Yeah, he's in trouble. But he will always throw those
Always
bombs.
has that one, though. Always has that punch.
And it looks like a potentially serious orbital injury for Derek Lewis that maybe is affecting him in the fight.
That's the second time he's gone for that takedown.
Yeah, the left eye does seem like it's swelling underneath the left eye, but what's interesting is they have the end swell on the right eye in between rounds, so that might be bothering him as well.
I think it could be orbital, like you guys were saying. That's when you usually see people grabbing at their eye like that. It's supposed to be one of the most painful things you can do. Thank God I haven't dealt with it, but I could imagine that big hand of Volkov in my eye might do it too.
You just keep moving that head, Doc.
There's that right hand again, right to that eye. As a bantamweight, when you watch heavyweights fight, does it kind of freak you out how little they move?
Well, that doesn't freak me out. It freaks me out how big and giant they are, and that only one of those punches is just like, it'll probably knock me into next year. They're enormous.
Oh, big jab.
That was a
Big
jab.
jab.
I mean, the human brain can only take so much pressure. I don't care how big you are. And these guys are nailing each other.
Air Asia, now everyone can fly. Volkov seemingly not in any rush when he has had Derek Lewis on the ropes. Continues to bide his time. 3 minutes now to go round two.
Well, I just think he's got to be cautious because of that. Because Derek Lewis can always fire back and knock you into another dimension.
Lewis's 9 UFC knockouts, tied for second most in UFC heavyweight history. 6 of those on the ground.
Right now, Lewis is playing the game where he's pulling Volkov back into his power. You see him pulling? He's trying to get Volkov to come to him to land the big strike, but Volkov's not biting. What Volkov could do is start using some jabs, start using those teep kicks, start beating up the legs of Lewis. Don't just look in the mirror is what I call this. You're staring at the mirror, some fakes. Get Derek Lewis biting on something. Right now, they're going speed for speed, shot for shot. There needs to be something in the middle to fill the gaps for these guys to offset each other. Nice, that can land all day. That's the type of stuff Volkov should be doing nonstop.
Volkov switched stances quite a bit as well. You see him now, he's moved back to orthodox. He was fighting southpaw for a bit. But I completely agree with you about attacking those legs.
And the body. I mean, anytime he's hit Derek in the body, it almost seems to affect him.
Pretty good counter right from Alexander Volkov. Much more of a volume guy than Derek Lewis is.
If I'm Volkov, I'm firing left teep kicks to the gut of Derek Lewis for the rest of the fight, and then bring it high, just like he did there. Just keep going to the legs, keep going to the body. That'll drop Lewis's hands, take the wind out of his sails, and take away some of that power.
He's going with that front kick to the body over and over again here.
Jabs and teep kicks all day will get the win for Volkov. And if Volkov fakes more, they'll have more openings. Ooh.
Nice job by Volkov using that length. You know, we talked a lot about Stefan Struve in the past, maybe not maximizing his length. Volkov uses it well.
The Irish are already singing.
Lewis at times can lull you into a false sense of not security, but comfort, and then he comes with those lunch boxes. 45 seconds here in round two. Oh. Beautiful inside leg kick for Volkov. Counter right from the Black Beast.
Always dangerous. His ability to explode. I mean, if he could just figure out how to fix his back problem.
Goodness, he's throwing that from the hip and it's still landing. Comes that left high, yep.
Uppercut off the mouthpiece. Volkov lost his mouthpiece. I don't know if Herb Dean has seen it. He's seen it. He's going to pick it up.
You put it in.
You put it in, bro.
Huh? Yeah, you put it in.
I don't think he knew it was his mouthpiece.
Oh, wow.
So that is the end of round 2. Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Body Armor. Switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. More natural, more electrolytes, better sports drink. Grab yours at participating Speedway stores.
I need you to breathe for me, and I need you to listen like you never listened before, buddy. We are down 2 rounds, most important fight of your life. I need you to turn this up. You're just backing up, letting him play his range. He keeps attacking the belly. Close that gap. We have 0 to lose at this point. We're down 2. Kill or be killed. I need to finish this fight. It's the only shot we have, but you can't do it from the range that you're at. You can't do it backing up. I need you to push forward, get in his face, lock him up, put him on his back, and let's finish this fight.
That 2-3 is there. He is dropping that right hand every time. Every time you throw that 2, that right hand drops. Come back with that 3. Come back with it.
That's some rock-solid advice from Derek Lewis's corner.
Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. A huge 5 minutes here in terms of the landscape of this UFC heavyweight division. Derek Lewis, Alexander Volkov. We'll see who emerges here as heavyweight contender. Less than 5 minutes now to go.
And his corner minced no words. And you can see Derek Lewis looking to unload bombs.
Man, fakes, feints would go a long way with these giant gentlemen.
Well, we saw some earlier from Volkov. We're just not seeing much anymore.
You see how they're just staring and then going. So there's no break in rhythm. There's no timing. It's just like, all right, when you go, I'll be faster than you. No, I'll hit harder than you.
He's giving them a little.
There it goes. That's what he needs more of, those. And then teep kicks. Maybe go to the legs a little bit. Lewis playing the pull game. It's the 3rd time he's tried that takedown, and you fake the single and you step around. It's not high percentage takedown, but it does work in transition. But from the outside like that, not very utilized, I would say.
Volkov going southpaw here. He wasn't going to engage Lewis there on the ground. Under 4 minutes to go. Every time Lewis flurries, this building gets ready to crescendo. Nothing doing there, though.
And what's funny is you see Derek Lewis control the pace of fights over and over.
Right hand behind the ear and another one for good measure. Lewis able to survive another onslaught from Volkov.
What a chin on Derek Lewis.
Man.
He looks like he's going to go down, and then he just wing an overhand or something out of nowhere. Almost like he's playing possum. Not here, though. That one
hits the eye again. He's covering up his eye, but it was a punch, according to Herb Dean.
Right. And Volkov wisely continues to attack that damaged orbital area of Derek Lewis. Under 3 minutes now to go.
I mean, how dangerous must Lewis actually be for Volkov to be taking this pace when he's got him hurt over and over and he's just so cautious?
Well, he's so dangerous that Volkov thought that the mouthpiece wasn't his.
Yeah.
Good point.
Well, Lewis came in, at least statistically, if you care, with the best striking defense among active heavyweights. So Volkov has certainly changed that percentage around a little bit tonight.
When you get your mouthpiece knocked out and you don't know you got your mouthpiece knocked out.
You try to hand it to your opponent, like, here you go.
You put this on, man. I don't want it.
Ouch, those hurt. Those will work all night. That teep kick, go back and forth and then throw a jab out there. And you can just slowly chop down Lewis because Lewis has no offense right now and he's only backing up. I think Lewis is just saving it for the last minute. I mean, that's all I could really think of here.
Well, he's just wading in, isn't he?
Yep. He's trying to pull Volkov, but Volkov won't throw anything. He's just kind of waiting for him because he knows Lewis is looking to counter him. So he's just playing the waiting game back and forth. It's counter for counter with these two gentlemen.
90 seconds to go.
Oh.
Watch those fingers.
Nice kick to the body. And again.
Those are going to keep landing all night if he keeps throwing it. And that's what Lewis has to do right there. You can't stay at kick range. This is what he needs to do, and he's been waiting for the last minute here. As you can see, he's pressuring now. But if you're not going to be eating those kicks and those jabs, you got to keep going, and you got to keep pressuring. You got to keep Volkov on his heels.
That's a big right from Derek Lewis. See how much the Black Beast has left in the tank, and if he can rally here down the stretch.
I mean, he just eats stuff and looks at you. He doesn't even care.
Yeah, he just kind of wobbles.
Oh, goodness.
He wobbles and then looks for a hammer. It's so fun to watch, though, because you just don't know what's going to happen.
You're exactly right. So hard. Incredible finish.
Unbelievable. Volkov does not know what happened.
Volkov still getting his wits about him. They help him to his feet. The Black Beast has done it.
Goodness.
Unbelievable.
Where's Daniel Cormier at?
Wow.
Derek Lewis.
Unbelievable.
It really is, though. It truly, really is.
It's
unfreaking believable.
He's crazy.
He does not care. He'll take a nap in the middle of this octagon right now with the microphone in his hand when you're interviewing him.
That kind of power and that heart.
Heart is right.
He's touching his heart right there.
He knows.
Well, just when you thought his fan base couldn't swell anymore, I present to you UFC 229. This replay brought to you by Nemiroff. Bold character since 1872. How about that visual there?
And this is heavyweights, ladies and gentlemen. Boom! He waited the entire fight, a 1-2 down the middle, and then non-stop, disgusting ground and pound. Jab, overhand right, bam! On the money, folded the skyscraper to the floor, and then gets pounded into rubble on the ground. Bam! I mean, you see his head just fold back like a Pez dispenser as his mouthpiece falls out again. Insane power by Derek Lewis. This man knows he had to tough it out and knew if he landed, it would be over, and he proved it. Look at that ground and pound. It's all over.
He has that break your face open type of power, and with respect to Cain Velasquez and everybody else, there may be no more dangerous ground striker at present in this heavyweight division than Derek Lewis.
Well, I don't know. Just the amount of power that he has in that core and the way that he throws his punches is insane. I think he just took his pants off in the octagon. That's a new one for me.
Look at that.
I don't know why he did that, but he did do it.
All right, the official decision is brought to you by Metro
He just doesn't care.
PCS. Now Metro by T-Mobile. Discover the smarter way to get unlimited and see what's new on October 8th. So Derek Lewis came in number 2 in the world. What a win for him tonight. Bruce Buffer to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 49 seconds of the 3rd round, declaring the winner by knockout, Derek the Black Beast Lewis.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off?
My balls was hot.
I understand. Listen, man, what you just did was absolutely phenomenal. That was an incredible comeback victory, and it shows one of the reasons why people love to watch you fight, that you can put it all to bed with one shot.
I told them boys, I got nothing but heart. You know, they keep underestimating me. Shit, I ain't all that technical and all that, but shit, I'm getting there. Fuck it.
No one will question your heart, sir, after this. Let's take a look at the knockout. This is a come-from-behind knockout, the likes that we haven't seen in a long time. and you were looking for that big haymaker all night. You found it in the last minute of the fight. Talk us through this, Derek.
I forgot a few hours before the fight, Donald Trump called me and told me I got knocked this Russian motherfucker out because they're making him look bad on the news. You know, him and Putin and shit. Fuck what they talking about, USA and this whole, fuck.
Listen, Derek, you came into this fight the #2 contender with that knockout. You're absolutely one of the top guys in line for a shot at the title next. So tell us what you think about that.
I need to sit my black ass down and do some more cardio. Fuck what you talking about right now. I ain't trying to fight for no title right now. Not with no gas tank like that. Shit.
Listen, Derek, you're one of the most entertaining guys in the sport. Congratulations on an amazing victory, and thank you very much for a really, really entertaining fight.
Thanks for having me. Hey, maybe next week or sometime or 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna come on your show and smoke some weed with you.
Anytime, sir, anytime. And you got the best Instagram in the game, I'll tell you right now. Derek Lewis, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Houston, Texas has got a heavyweight contender. Epic finish. Pretty epic post-fight interview as well. What we have come to expect from the Black Beast. All right, these fighter stats brought to you by San Manuel Casino. With the most slots on the West Coast, visit sanmanuel.com for all thrill details. And you want to talk about good company with that knockout. Derek Lewis is tied with the former heavyweight king, Cain Velasquez, for the most knockouts in UFC heavyweight history. Absolutely incredible. Derek Lewis gets his 12th UFC win here tonight and puts himself on the short list of heavyweight contenders. Well, as you might expect, the celebs are out here tonight. Mel Gibson was here early for the UFC festivities. Also in the building tonight, Chris Pratt. He's been a staple of these UFC pay-per-views of late. Great to have Mr. Pratt in the building with us here tonight. Tonight's Locker Room Shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Back in 2016, Ovince St. Preux went the distance in an interim title fight against John Jones, but his recent form has been some of the best of his career. Tonight, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt and 6-time UFC bonus winner draws the upstart Dominic Reyes, a student of the game who trains under UFC veteran Joe Stevenson. And tonight, on the biggest pay-per-view of 2018, Reyes will look to prove he can contend with the division's elite.
At UFC Fight Night Moncton, you have Volkan Ozdemir versus Anthony Smith. This dude, Anthony Smith, is on a tear. Big, strong, physical. The legend killer. I mean, 50 seconds for Rashad Evans. 1 minute and 20 seconds for Shogun Rua. But now he's got somebody that's young. He's got a young, hungry, game opponent in Volkan Ozdemir. And this dude hits hard, and he's fast. And he's not going to be intimidated by Anthony Smith. He goes and he approaches every fight in the same exact way. This fight is going to be amazing.
All right, so this 205-pound division could look a whole lot different by the end of the month. You've got Volkan Ozdemir and Anthony Lionheart Smith. That's a main event October 27th. Tonight, #7, Ovince St. Preux facing 12th-ranked Dominic Reyes in the division in which they are all still chasing Daniel Cormier. Tonight's crowd shots are brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. All right, the 205-pounders are ready to go. Without further delay, let us get to them. Ovince St. Preux has been there. He has done that tonight. He will try to be the first man to solve the puzzle. That is oncoming light heavyweight force, Dominic the Devastator Reyes. Once just a raw talent, but now a seasoned veteran of the sport, Ovince St. Preux knows what it's like to be the star on the rise. And tonight, he will attempt to halt the undeniable momentum built up by talented light heavyweight riser, Dominic Reyes.
Tonight I'm fighting OSP. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a slugfest. Make sure you guys don't blink.
Definitely excited about fighting Dominic tonight. You know, he's a finisher, I'm a finisher, and He like giving the crowd a show, and I like to give the crowd a show too.
Like his opponent tonight, Dominic Reyes used to star on the gridiron, but the Californian found his true home in mixed martial arts, where his perfect pro record boasts finishes of Joachim Christensen, Jeremy Kimball, and Jared Cannonier, all of them in his first 3 trips to the octagon.
I'm different than anyone OSP has ever faced before because I'm a true athlete. I'm the most athletic guy in the light heavyweight division, and when I move, it's a blur. So he's gonna have to keep up with this blur.
Ovince St. Preux's UFC career hasn't always been smooth, but after finishes of Corey Anderson and Tyson Pedro in his last 2 wins, the Tennessee product has shown that his experience has caught up with the talent, all serving to make him one of the most dangerous men in the weight class.
My game plan is, you hit me, I'm gonna hit you harder. So if I hit you harder, more than likely you're not gonna wake up.
3-0 to begin his UFC run. Here is Dominic Reyes, 28 years old. College football standout at Stony Brook University on the East Coast, had definite NFL aspirations, but when that did not materialize, he shifted his focus to mixed martial arts. And Joe, he is acutely aware of where he is in terms of this pecking order at 205 pounds, has a good understanding of where he is and where he thinks he can go from here.
Well, one thing that they both have in common is they're both tremendous athletes before they got into MMA. What we're seeing from Dominic Reyes, though, is beautiful movement. I mean, he has really adapted very quickly to MMA. His striking is outstanding. His ability to move in and out and side to side. He's very technical and fluid. He's got great submission skills as well. He's a real hot prospect.
Yeah, what I love about Dominic Reyes is he's all offense. He's 100% offense. Now, what OSP and Dominic Reyes could both do, in my opinion, is maybe pick up the defense a little. They both get hit, but they don't care. That's what makes them fun to watch. They're willing to get hit in order to hit you harder and put the offense out there to make it a fun fight. They're not trying to fight safe, either of these guys, and it's going to be awesome.
This fighter description brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. We talk a lot in MMA about a step up in competition, and this is a decided step up in competition for Reyes here tonight.
Massive, especially in terms of experience. You're talking about a guy who has fought so many top-level fighters in Ovince St. Preux. He's fought Tyson Pedro, Alir Latife, Corey Anderson, Shogun Rua, Jimmy Manawa. I mean, he's fought really good guys.
And, of course, he went 5 rounds with John Jones in an interim light heavyweight title fight back in the day as well. Well, since Ovince St. Preux, Dom, made his UFC debut in 2013, no light heavyweight has won more UFC fights than Vince. 11 UFC wins, and he comes in with a lot of momentum here tonight, trying to make it 5 wins in his last 6.
Yeah, he says that he's better at adapting to styles than Dominic Reyes. And he says that this is my 19th fight in the UFC. I started out this thing. I knock people out. I know where I'm at. I know I belong here. Reyes is still trying to figure that out. Says, I believe I have the advantage on the ground. And you know what? We don't know yet. We haven't seen Dominic Reyes even be forced to grapple yet. So can OSP create those type of exchanges? And if he does, how can he do against Dominic Reyes? Because we've seen him submit various people with various different submissions.
Well, Dominic has that one victory over Jeremy Kimball in the UFC with a rear naked choke, but you're right. He prefers to strike. And in terms of experience, there's no competition. As you said, John Jones, he went 5 rounds with John Jones, OSP did. He fought Robert Teixeira. I mean, again, fought Shogun Rua. He's fought a lot of really high-level guys.
And we just saw Derek Lewis rally through adversity. That has been a staple of the UFC run of Ovince St. Preux. He has produced wins when he was really up against it during those fights. He has fought with injuries and somehow persevered. His 9 UFC finishes, tied with Chuck Liddell and one John Jones for tops all time in this 205-pound division. This is a guy who is all across the light heavyweight record books and still believes at 35 years old that his best days could be ahead of him. Tricky guy to prepare for, the king of the Von Flue choke. This is a fighter that brings a whole lot to the table.
Yeah, and as he said, the thing that these two men both have in common is that they were both substantial athletes before they ever got involved in MMA.
All right, This tale of the tape is brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. St. Preux, 35 years old. Dominic Reyes with a wisdom that belies his years. He is 28. Reyes, the slightly taller man, but St. Preux is long as hell. He'll have the 3-inch reach advantage here tonight. All right, for the introductions now, back inside to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding an undefeated professional record. 9 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 204 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Victorville, California, Dominic the Devastator Reyes. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 23 wins, 11 losses. Standing 6 feet 3 1/2 inches tall, weighing in at 205 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Knoxville, Tennessee, presenting the number 7 ranked light heavyweight contender in the world, Vince St. Preux. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Dan Mergliata.
Well, Dominic Reyes called for this fight. He's glad he got it. He called it the perfect matchup. Does see some similarities between him and St. Preux. Ariane Celeste, thank you very much. Dominic Reyes, did he bite off more than he can chew in calling out Vince St. Preux? Some answers here in short order. Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Reyes, the fellow southpaw, is wearing gray. St. Preux is in black.
Reyes said, I got to use my jab against St. Preux. Right off the bat, just get straight to kicking. Kicking and jabbing.
Strong kicks.
Pure offense right off the bat.
St. Preux switches to orthodox here. And St. Preux, one of his big weapons is that left leg. And see who's lifting it up with the front leg now. He's got a powerful left kick.
Reyes said when he goes conventional, you're going to see me firing my left a lot more. When he goes southpaw, you're going to see me using my jab a lot more. That's boxing fundamentals. And now we're seeing him also add the kicks to the various stances as well.
Reyes did take second at the 2015 IBJJF Worlds as a blue belt, but really acknowledged that he doesn't have the combat experience of his light heavyweight contemporaries. Nice land there by Reyes.
You see, he throws that right hook very lightly to set up the step-in left hand. I mean, he reaches a lot of distance with that left hand. St. Preux just getting out of the way.
UFC veteran Joe Stevenson, the longtime chief corner of Dominic Reyes. Nice slip by St. Preux. He said most of this camp was rooted in shoring up his defense.
Vince looking for the takedown. Interesting. The only guy in the UFC to have 2 Von Flue chokes.
Actually has 3.
Oh, that's right. He does have 3.
Gato Kami.
Which is crazy.
Oh, it's got to be. We got to change the name. He's got 1, yeah.
The fact that we're seeing OSP try these shots tells me that he's not very comfortable on his feet right now. And it's interesting because you don't see him just try outright double legs ever.
Takedown attempt again. Reyes showing very good takedown defense. But I think he was just shocked by the output, the quick offense of Dominic Reyes.
Looks like he's going to get this double leg here, though.
Oh, big elbows.
Ooh, those are heavy. Ooh, he pulls him up the hip. Those can get ugly sometimes. We've seen people get knocked out pretty bad with those types of elbows. Nice takedown. Beautiful takedown. That was nice. Reyes right back up
to his feet. Look at this.
The athleticism that he's showing is high level.
That's exactly what he's talked about, making these strikes count.
And you see how he had that double leg underneath the butt, and you saw Reyes bring his hips in and slide him up to the upper body. I mean, that's so frustrating because you know you have the double, and then you lose it.
You're good, right where you are. Very impressed with Reyes' takedown defense, his ability to scramble back up to his feet, and his ability to land hard, damaging strikes in the clinch.
Reyes' longest UFC fight coming in, 3 minutes, 39 seconds. Cruz in trouble yet.
He's
powerful. Dominic Reyes is flooding him with offense, reckless abandonment as hard as he can. And right now, OSP is square, not knowing what to do with it.
And his head straight up in the air.
And Reyes not forcing the finish here, exercising some patience.
St. Preux is hurt. He's on wobbly legs still.
Oh, that was beautiful. I mean, he's being tricky too, Reyes. He knows St. Preux's waiting for something, so he's putting two moves together to offset OSP and Reyes.
1 minute to go here, round one.
He is letting him off the hook, though.
I think he's being patient because OSP is dangerous. And you got to remember, when guys are up against the fence, that's like locking somebody in a corner. That's when they're the most dangerous. And with the power that OSP has, you got to be cautious.
Domination on the feet from Reyes.
Right hook over the top. Oh, and there OSP fires back. Oh,
goodness.
He's mixing it up so well.
And the power that you're hearing, I mean, when those shots are blocked, they're loud.
Beautiful leg kick. Really buckled the leg of OSP there.
You're just using so many different strikes and keeping OSP thinking nonstop.
St. Preux put on a poker face, but that low kick did not feel good. That can't feel good either.
You see him going low to the leg and then high, and then St. Preux's like, hold on a second.
St. Preux may make it out of the round. Looks very awkward here.
He's just trying to figure it out. Reyes coming with non-stop offense.
So Reyes will see a second round for the first time in his UFC run. Let's listen into Eric Turner if we could.
You're doing a good job on your shots. Just pull the trigger, right? Don't stand in front of him ever. Never, ever stand in front of him. Where are we going to do this shot? It's good. Yeah, he's fine. We're going to move our feet, aren't we? Right? Move our feet. Either be close or too far. But none of that in the range, right? Right now we're saying right in his range. If we're going to stand there, pop, 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 pop. You understand? What are we going to do this round, okay? Yeah.
You're good from the over-under. Attack them.
Yeah.
Put yourself in position.
Dominic Reyes putting on a show. Let's look at these big elbows from the clinch. Hard elbows. Travis Brown style. And look at this left hand over the top. Boom, right hand behind it. Just pure domination by Dominic Reyes. Caught him with the end of the toes with that. Look at all those shots.
And how tough is OSP, though, honestly?
Well, that's been a staple of St. Preux's career, that he's been a hard man to break. This is a guy who's headlined for the UFC 5 times.
So durable, so strong, always active. OSP is no joke.
And interesting that he goes back to orthodox stance. I wonder why he feels more comfortable there.
Well, that's his natural stance, and I think that Dominic Reyes is so efficient that he needs to be comfortable with his defense in that defensive stance. Remember, when you switch stance, you have one stance and you have better defense. I think OSP's defense is better conventional.
That's interesting because certainly his most potent weapon standing up is either his left hook or his left kick.
And that's offense.
Air Asia. Now everyone can fly.
Look for Reyes to fire more left hands in this round.
Oh, there's one right off the bat.
Because he knows as a southpaw, you got to fire more right hands, left hands, excuse me. And you take away the...
Oh, he ate that knee. OSP working real hard for the takedown here. Dominic gets that underhook, turns it around.
The balance there showed by Reyes was huge. Good hips, powerful.
Nice clean knee up the middle as well.
And it was a nice shot by OSP as well. Can't take anything away from it. Good timing, good shot. Reyes, just good reactions.
And some valuable experience being accrued here by Dominic Reyes in this his second round in the UFC, but got a lot of layers to his game at 28 years old.
Now this is where guys can be punched in the face non-stop. It takes away the body lock because you can't squeeze if you're getting socked in the face right here. These guys are just squeezing each other, not punching in the break here.
Reyes 9-0 coming in, only one career win by decision, so perhaps the gas tank bears watching. Beautiful body kick there.
Just so fluid with his technique. I mean, he mixes it up so well. He doesn't go to the well too many times with any one thing. He's very diverse in his tactics.
Well, and I think those that were surprised to see Reyes entrenched as a near 3-1 favorite haven't necessarily been following his career trajectory.
Oh! And there you see how dangerous OSP is, too.
Yeah, from that southpaw stance, there's that powerful left kick.
Don't forget, he's just as strong as Reyes, hits just as hard. Just right now, Reyes is putting together the trickery with the offense a little bit better than OSP so far.
Yeah, he just has a more efficient and fluid offense, but OSP has dynamic power.
And explosiveness. I mean, Reyes is more of a fluidity to his style. He throws 2 punches, ending with a kick. OSP explodes with power and precision from the outside, and he's also tricky too, but right now Reyes is putting combinations together to offset OSP.
Significant strikes landed, 74 for Reyes, 12 for St. Preux.
And we see Reyes slow down a lot, though, in the second round, and that's going to be a read as the fights move on for him.
That's a very good point, because he opened up like a house on fire.
Close your fingers.
But that's the adjustments with new guys in these divisions. You got to see round by round versus each style what happens to their cardio, what happens to their movements, what happens to their defense and their offense. And right now, both these gentlemen are showing up for us.
Also, he's a big 205. Not sure how much weight he's cutting, but that could be a...
Not sure where that cut came on OSP's head. When did that happen? What's interesting is you're seeing Reyes stuff shots by just moving. He's not necessarily having even to get in the wrestling scrambles because he's just turning the corner at the right time.
There's that left kick to the body again.
Look at the takedown defense of Dominic Reyes. St. Preux telegraphed that right hand.
Good left to the body by St. Preux.
And Reyes returned it. These guys are very evenly matched. Looks like that cut might have came from a takedown attempt earlier by OSP. Just got caught with the elbow on the way in.
Reyes catching him with that elbow. 10 minutes down. This corner cam brought to you by Harley-Davidson. When you fire up an HD motorcycle, adrenaline kicks in and refuses to tap out. Check it out at h-d.com/explore.
Look at me. You need more offense. You got 5 minutes. You're definitely down 2 rounds. What are you waiting on? You beat this guy every time you go first. Do you hear me? Every time you go first, you win. If you're going to stand up, I don't want to be yelling combos that you're not listening to. You understand? I need you on him on the deck. You have to finish him this round. If you want to set that bristle, you got to snap.
Stay tight. When he switches, fucking chop that front leg out. That shit's hurting you. So just, stay calm, stay tight. Don't fucking rush anything, okay? But know your shots. He's going to come out, try and shoot again. That's the only thing he got. Yeah. You're doing a great job.
Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Now, that was Eric Turner, Knoxville Martial Arts Academy there, Dom, in the corner of Oven St. Preux. A lot of these cheap corners have different approaches, but Turner and St. Preux have been with each other every step of the way. So.
All right, final round. You ready? Final round. Let's go.
I don't know.
Well, just don't forget, each athlete needs a different type of stimulus, especially after you've been getting punched and kicked for a couple rounds. He needed to pep him up, and I think OSP, that was exactly the things he needed to hear for this 3rd round.
Pretty significant cut there just along the hairline of Oven St. Preux.
And his coach is exactly right. OSP waiting just a little too much. He needs to be first. And when he's first, he does well. When he waits on Dominic, it's a problem.
St. Preux continuing to advance.
And we see Reyes listening to his corner well. Right when he switched stance, he starts beating up the lead leg. Smart. Good reads.
Oh, went right over the top with that left high kick. Almost clipped him.
And it was pretty. That was a very nice kick.
OSP's got to ramp up the volume, though. I mean, he's absolutely down in this fight. but with that kind of power, he's always in it.
Well, the issue right now for OSP is he's throwing one at a time. And the difference is Reyes has the numbers because he's throwing combinations. Now, as the fights moved on, we've seen Reyes go more and more to one shot. But that first round got him so far ahead that right now OSP needs to pick up the pace and go first.
All right, let's bring in Joe Stevenson in the corner of Dom Reyes. Nice! Wait and step out with your left. Nice, keep your hands up. Keep all your hands up, there we go.
Keep circling.
Lean your kick to the knee, hands up, circle out.
Look for your legs.
Come over his jab. Come over his jab when he reaches. Oh, his hands are coming low. No! That hurt him.
That hurt.
He's trying to rush.
Look ahead, look ahead. Yep.
3 minutes to decide this one. Co-main event coming up next.
Good left hand over the top by OSP.
Still one at a time.
Yep.
Need combinations if you're going to trick him. There it is. Ooh, that was a nice uppercut moving backwards by Dominic. Good left high.
And once again, Reyes strikes first. St. Preux rushes forward. Reyes able to stay upright.
The balance of Reyes is just very, very good. Should have been taken down there. Really should have.
One thing that you really nailed, though, Dom, is that his volume decreases significantly after the first round. Now, whether that's he comes out too fast in the first round and he needs to pace himself more, or whether it's an endurance issue.
I'm pretty sure it's being undefeated, relatively green, and that was a first round adrenaline dump looking round to me. But he still looked very good. And the fact that even after an adrenaline dump like that, he's still in it, going with the OSP is impressive, but he does need to fix that gap. You're right, Joe.
Understands that this is the biggest fight of his career.
Yep.
It's a big, and he came out feeling good, looking great, well prepared, but he's absolutely slowing down a bit.
But what makes it impressive is he's still listening to his corners. Look, every time OSP switches, he kicks. He's listening. He's very intelligent, very smart, but he is tired. So his brain's still working for him. He's still listening, and that means that he's got the experience he needs. And you can fill that gap in the cardio as the fights move on. But right now, OSP's coming hard.
Yeah, St. Preux starting to find his range with that left hand. Kicked high effectively as well.
Man, Reyes with that beautiful left leg.
Beautiful elbow. And those leg kicks are eating up OSP. Look, he went back to conventional again because he's limping a little on that right leg.
And that elbow, I think, opened up another significant cut.
And now he went to the inside thigh.
Oh, man, he's bleeding like a stuck pig now. That's nasty.
Well, that elbow is just so pretty that he threw. It was a good counter.
But being credit to OSP for never stopping, moving forward, looking for that knockout, trying to find the opening.
Well, he didn't quit at all, not even for a second, especially in this third round. But Reyes showing he's slick. He's not easy to take out. He's got good defense too, but does. Big kick goes high.
Well, that was what was interesting about this matchup in the first place. We knew OSP has no quit in him.
Yes.
So we knew this young, undefeated prospect is going to get tested, and so far, flying colors.
And these will certainly be valuable minutes for Reyes as he moves forward and moves up this light heavyweight ladder.
And this does not bring down OSP's stock, in my opinion. I mean, he's looked so good in this fight. He's coming.
It's over.
He walked away. That's it.
If St. Preux doesn't get up.
What is going on here?
It's not over.
What is going on here?
It's not over.
What is going on here?
So St. Preux gets back to his feet, and thereby it will go to the judges' scorecards. If he was unable to do so, it would have been a TKO at the end of round 3.
That's ridiculous. That was the end of the fight. I don't understand that.
What just happened?
Wow,
there was never a horn and there was never a whistle. So why did they stop?
Dan Miragliotta was saying you got to get up, but he was walking away. Dominic Reyes was walking away like it was a knockout.
Well, I did hear a horn.
Looks like it is.
Truck's telling me there wasn't a horn. I thought I heard a horn.
I thought it was a knockout.
Me too.
I thought they should have stopped
horn.
the fight. He was laying back on his back, not defending himself, eyes straight up in the sky. Dominic Reyes walked away as if it was a knockout. It seemed like one to me. I'm confused. I mean, I guess Dan Miragliotta wanted to call it himself, and since he didn't, he said, you got to get up. Let's see this again.
Replay is brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Look at this. Boom! This is early on. Reyes with the left hand over the top. This is first round action. And here's some nasty leg kicks. Inside leg kick by Dominic Reyes. Here's a nice knee. Trying to stop the takedown. And there, that is the first elbow that landed that caused the cut. There's another nice inside leg kick. Now here, boom, left hand. Now watch, now let's listen to this. Because look, he walks away like this fight's over.
You can't be saved by the horn, right? But it seemed like Dan Miragliotta came in and saved St. Preux. Either way, Dominic Reyes, the likely winner tonight. The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS. Now Metro by T-Mobile. Discover the smarter way to get unlimited and see what's new on October 8th. All right, Bruce Buffer now with that decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Dominic the Devastator Reyes.
First of all, congratulations, Dominic. There seemed like a little bit of confusion at the end of the fight. We thought you had knocked him out and you were walking away as if you did that. We heard the horn, but Dan Miragliotta was telling him he had to get up or they were going to stop it. It wound up being a decision. Did you feel like it was a knockout?
That's a knockout. I mean, what do you guys think?
I absolutely think it was a knockout. But that aside, phenomenal performance. You came into this fight 9-0 against one of the top contenders in the division, a guy who went 5 rounds with John Jones, a guy who's fought the best of the best, and you put on a show tonight.
Oh yeah, it wasn't easy. All respect to Vince, you know, he's a hell of a competitor. But, you know, I prepared hard, worked my ass off. I know where I sit, and I knew I was going to get this win tonight.
Well, Dominic Reyes, you came into this fight tonight a prospect. You leave a top contender. That was an absolutely impressive performance, and I think most people think it was a knockout. I hope it goes into the books as a knockout. Either way, amazing, amazing performance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Hey, yeah, get me in the game, man. Come on, let's go.
Get him in the game, people. Dominic Reyes, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, if you don't know, now you know. Dominic Reyes maximizing the pay-per-view showcase here tonight, and I think we'll find a way to get him in EA Sports UFC 3.
I think that's the least of his worries after that.
This stat brought to you by San Manuel Casino. With the most slots on the West Coast, visit sanmanuel.com for all thrill details. So with that win, Dom Reyes ties Jan Blachowicz for the longest live active win streak in this UFC light heavyweight division. Well, the A-listers are out here tonight. One of Boston's finest, Matt Damon, is in the building for UFC 229, as is Aaron Paul, he of Breaking Bad fame.
Taking this fight does show my championship mentality. I call it mental toughness. Midwest tough, West Coast savvy. Got the best of both worlds.
A big win tonight is huge for my career. It's going to put me right back in line for a title shot. Now I got to go out there and not only beat this guy, I got to make it impressive.
Anthony Pettis versus Tony Ferguson is a very intriguing fight. Both men are at the top of the heap in the lightweight division. Anthony Pettis has a unique combination of traditional martial arts skills along with lightning-fast submissions, particularly off of his back. And he's back against one of the most creative and dangerous guys in the division in Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson is one of the most unique fighters and most difficult fighters to prepare for. He has fantastic striking. He has very unorthodox submissions. His movement is very creative inside the octagon. He mixes things up, and he's able to do whatever he wants whenever he wants to do it.
Tony Ferguson, winner by submission.
He's a very creative fighter, and it's one of the things that makes him so difficult to prepare for.
Anthony Pettis never fought a dude like me. And Anthony Pettis is no different than any opponent I've ever seen. You got your hands full, kid.
I think the biggest hole in Tony's game is that no one's ever tested him in the chaos. Everybody tries to shy away from the chaos. I'm gonna welcome it, I'm gonna accept it, and I'm gonna shine.
Too powerful for Pettis. He knows this. Once I get a hold of you, you're not leaving. And I want you to beg somebody to take you out of that octagon.
It's gonna be a big mistake if he tries to strike with me. I send him back to the hospital to get that knee fixed again. Tony Ferguson is just another guy in my way for my title shot.
Well, his future is in the UFC Hall of Fame. His present, this massive co-main event tonight against Tony Ferguson. Here is Anthony Showtime Pettis. And Joe, he really has taken his training approach back into his own hands, trying to get back to the fighter that realized the UFC title 5 years ago.
Well, he feels like he fixed something that wasn't broken. He had a style where he would throw these wild kicks and punches, and if you took him down, he would submit you. And then he felt like he was out-wrestled by a few guys, so he had to change his style up and work more on his wrestling and tighten up that aspect of his game. But in doing so, he diminished some of the striking, he diminished some of the submission. Then he decided, before the Chiesa fight, I'm going to go back to the old way.
Right.
Wild, reckless striking. You take me down, I'm going to submit you. That's exactly what he did with Chiesa, and he feels like he's back. What we got to remember is Anthony Pettis is still only 31 years of age.
Right.
All right? I mean, former WEC champion, former UFC champion, has beaten some of the best in the game. Gilbert Melendez knocked out Cowboy Cerrone. When he's at his best, he's a wild, creative striker with some of the most dynamic kicks in the game.
Tonight's Prep Point brought to you by Harley-Davidson. When you fire up an HD motorcycle, adrenaline kicks in and refuses to tap out. Check it out at h-d.com/explore. And Dom, he feels like his instincts and his reactions are as good as anyone's in the game, and why not lean on it, says Pettis.
Well, he says that comes from his mentality outside of the octagon. He said he worked on his brain outside, and it fixed his mentality inside the octagon. The biggest thing that makes me excited about this fight is he said, one, I want to make this fight havoc. I want it to be chaotic, and I want to embrace it. And I said, well, that's what Tony Ferguson wants. And he says, exactly. So these two are going to meet head-on-head, and he's okay with that. And that's what he said in the pre-fight. You've got to be okay in the habit of Ferguson if you're going to beat him. And you got to get him in between the transitions where he has a hold in his game. He considers the decision a loss, is what he told me. So he's going for the finish, and he's going hard, like usual.
15th UFC appearance for Showtime Pettis, a plus 300 underdog at close here tonight. And time now to welcome back a man with one of the best lightweight resumes in UFC history. The first and as yet only man to put together a 10-fight winning streak at 155 pounds. Khabib has won 10 in a row. A couple of those were catchweight fights. His training is legendary. Tony Ferguson, 6 months after a major knee surgery, back to the octagon.
He's a brilliant weirdo. That's what I would say about Tony Ferguson.
He's brilliant.
The guy shows up to the weigh-ins with ankle weights on. I mean, I don't even understand what he's doing there.
Yeah.
But that's Tony Ferguson. He marches to the beat of his own beatbox inside of his brain. He builds his own gym. He sets up training camp in Big Bear. He does all the construction himself.
Yeah.
He lays out the mats. He hangs up all the bars, all the different things he's going to work out with. And he's got the best Darce choke in the game. Catches it from everywhere. Brilliantly creative on the ground. Brilliantly creative standing up. He's a very, very interesting guy.
What you said about Big Bear attests to the fact that he prepares cardio, strength and conditioning to the max. He believes, I already know how to fight. I'm going to do the technique. That's the easy part. The one and only thing I can control is whether I get tired or not. So I simply won't ever get tired. And therefore, my technique will always be there because that's what I do. I fight. That's what's in my blood. That's how I train. My reactions will be there if I don't get tired. But if I get tired, it doesn't matter. Conditioning can make a coward of us all. He lives by that, and he focuses on it. And then in there, he shines because he knows there's nothing he can do that's going to stop him other than he putting his lights out.
He hasn't had a sip of alcohol since February. He feels like that has him in the best shape of his life. And you're right, Dom, that ability to push himself and push himself past his limits is what he believes sets him apart. You might be looking at the most exciting fighter pound for pound in mixed martial arts today. All right, this Tail the Tape brought to you by Modelo Especial Brew with a fighting spirit since 1925. Ferguson, 34 years old. Incredibly, Anthony Showtime Pettis still just 31. Ferguson, the slightly taller man, he will have a 4-inch edge in reach. All right, now to get you started for the co-main event, here is Bruce Buffy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. Sponsored by Motel 6. When you're ready to tap out, book online at motel6.com. We'll leave the light on for you. And Nemerov, bold character since 1972. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 21 wins, 7 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, presenting the former WEC lightweight champion and the former UFC lightweight champion, presenting the number 8 ranked lightweight contender in the world, Anthony Showtime Pettis. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 24 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Orange County, California, presenting the former interim UFC lightweight champion and the number 2 ranked lightweight contender in the world, Tony El Kakui Ferguson. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog, our referee. Brittany Palmer, thank you very much. Ready to go here, round 1 of 3 in this co-main event, to be followed by Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor. Tony Ferguson back on that UFC canvas for the first time in about a year, taking on Showtime Pettis. Tonight's fight clock brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Ferguson came home from the hospital after surgery in April, immediately started doing 20-pound curls until he couldn't work out anymore. He is a freak.
See Pettis going right after the knees right away of Ferguson.
Right away.
Right after the leg. And it already hurts. You see him limping already. Can't get kicked in the legs. That hurts.
And Ferguson returns to him.
And you see the scar on the side of his knee. Pettis going right after that lead leg.
Yeah, it seems like Ferguson's limping a little bit on that leg.
It looks like it hurts. He just got kicked in it very hard.
Well, you got to realize when you're talking about 6 months from a catastrophic knee surgery like that, I mean, completely detached from the bone, massive scar, you got to wonder if it's 100%.
It's only been 6 months?
Yeah, April. Injury was April 1st.
Well, Dom, you're a guy who's come back from multiple surgeries. You know how long it takes. It's very rare that someone can come back from a gigantic knee surgery and be 100% after 6 months.
Well, 6 months is a ridiculous time frame, I'll be honest. It takes at least 9 to get as strong as you need it. So the fact that he's pushing the pace like that is pretty crazy.
Nice stick.
And I don't like the way he's moving. It looks like it's hurt.
They might have rushed it, but we don't know.
We don't know
that with Ferguson.
Right, it could have been the kicks that Pettis landed.
Because he looks good now.
Or it could be that it's hurt.
The biggest thing Ferguson said he wanted to do is utilize his jab in this fight. That was going to be the biggest problem for Pettis. And what's cool about it is he switches and he's got a really good southpaw jab and a really good conventional jab.
Oh, yeah, he can absolutely fight from anywhere. The question is, did he give himself enough time to recover from the surgery?
And he did no physical therapy. He took his recovery into his own hands, none.
I don't know what to say about any of that. I honestly have no words for that.
Don't shoot the messenger.
He's crazy. I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's brilliant in that regard.
Correct. That's his own way.
The Pettis camp felt like they picked up a lot of things on tape of Ferguson being a hittable guy. Tony said, watch all the film you want. I'll pick him apart on the feet. We have hit the midpoint of round 1.
Blocked it all, though.
And nothing landed.
Well, he spends a lot of time working on a Wing Chun dummy. He does that.
Yeah.
I mean, he does a lot of really unorthodox stuff in terms of mixed martial arts.
Your friend Eddie Bravo talks about him training for 6 hours straight. I mean, it's absurd.
Well, Eddie's trained with a lot of guys. He said he's never seen anyone with the kind of endurance that Tony has.
I know you hit that elliptical for 2 hours the other day.
I mean, his pressure is crazy. The pressure that he's putting on Pettis right now is silly. This is exhausting to move the way Pettis has to, and he's guessing too, because look how Ferguson moves his head, switches combination, switches, always giving you a different look, and always pressuring you. And he's not chasing; he's heading off Pettis.
Yeah, tremendous pressure, and whatever we thought was going on with his leg earlier might have just been. Ooh, and there's another hard leg kick to that leg, but he looks fine.
Yeah, nice counter right from Ferguson.
And he's using it a lot. Inside leg kick with that leg. He's landed several to Pettis' left leg. Tremendous pressure, though. Look at him.
Pettis doing a good job seeing everything. The only thing that worries me is moving back this much is exhausting if you're Pettis. That pressure is just ridiculous. And he's got to clinch him or do something to deal with the pressure. Go to the body of Ferguson, fake a shot, throw uppercut, throw knees, something. Because right now Ferguson is just on it.
All over him. Front kick to the body, inside leg kick again. I mean, he is just smothering Pettis. Pettis just can't get any space.
He's basically keeping him in a phone booth by heading him off.
And he's slowing down. You're seeing Pettis' punches coming slower.
Well, the key is of what Ferguson's doing game plan-wise is now Pettis doesn't have this trickiness. He can't make reads. He can't have timing because he's moving back the whole time.
Blocked. Nice left hand there, stuck by Ferguson.
Beautiful uppercut. And look at him, walking him down, talking to him.
Beautiful jab there by Ferguson, former two-time All-American wrestler at Grand Valley State University as a wrestler.
Again, inside leg kick twice. And just does not get tired. It's one of the craziest things about this guy.
I think,
sorry, Joe, go ahead.
Just as mentally tough as it comes, and he draws such strength from that. Couple big right hands from Ferguson. Pettis shakes him off, but a strong close to round one for El Cucuy.
What a round.
Good, breathe. Okay. Good round. Here's what I need you to do, though, okay? Breathe. Get some water in you, okay? Drink. There you go. Big mouth. All right, so listen to me. Keep hitting over his kicks, okay? Every time he kicks, he's wide open. Quick punch combo, kick at the end of it. You're doing great. Keep your hands high, though. Parry. I like your swagger. I like the mentality.
Don't aim so high.
That's it right there. That's my. There you go.
Don't aim so high every time, you hear me? Don't aim so high every time. Don't aim so high.
All right, composure. Give me a smile. Give me a smile. There you go.
Survival mode already. You took his heart. Put the press on him.
Head movement.
Follow through.
Head movement, the final thing in terms of the messaging from the Ferguson corner. Round two here.
Second round, fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Fight!
Well, the pressure's already exhausting, but then you add the fact that he's pressuring by switching stance, so that takes away your counter reads too. And then he's kicking your legs when he switches stance.
Yeah, he's chewing. Oh,
he's hurt. And that's one thing about Pettis. He can finish anything. He's on him. He's on him.
He's attacking the leg.
Oh, Ferguson bleeding bad here. Busted open.
Beautiful by Pettis. And that's the thing. Pettis wanted a war. He wanted to feel this pain, and so he's in it. And now he got what he wanted. He hurt Ferguson, and now he has Ferguson's respect.
There's a lot of blood coming from somewhere.
Might be his jaw.
Yeah, it looks like the mouth of Tony Ferguson.
So some definite adversity here for Ferguson.
Pettis has got to be very careful of Tony's guard, though. I would like to see him try to just stand up.
I'm just glad this is on the ground because I want to see these two gentlemen grapple. Ferguson right after it, immediately staying offensive.
Well, there's a tremendous amount of blood coming out of Tony Ferguson's mouth. And you got to wonder what is going on.
I think it's from his head.
A lot of it coming from Pettis, too.
Head?
It's got to be the top of his head. Or I don't know. I can't tell.
It might be from both gentlemen.
Yeah, they're both cut to
Pettis
pieces.
loses. Oh, Pettis is losing a ton of
from
blood
an
here.
elbow from Ferguson.
This fight, as advertised so far.
This is what they wanted, and this is what we get.
Jason Herzog's going to check that cut of Anthony Pettis.
I think it was on the ground that he landed that. I think he threw it in the guard and landed it on Anthony in the guard.
This can't be that bad that they have to stop this.
No, well, right.
It's not above the eye, so they won't stop it because it's not above the eye.
Oh, it's in the hairline. It's a giant cut on the right side of his head.
I need another rag for his eyes. Please, a rag. How are we doing? He's good. He's fine. Okay, one moment. I need a rag. Let's get over.
Herzog now calling for a rag to clear Tony's eyes.
Good reffing by Jason Herzog.
Jason Herzog, one of the best in the business.
This is a fight.
We are the only three gentlemen sitting in the T-Mobile Arena right now.
Oh my goodness, it's getting wild.
I'm just thankful for this fight right here, right now.
I mean, how's this as an appetizer for Khabib and Conor? 3 minutes to go in this second of a possible 3 rounds. Ferguson ripping the body there.
Ferguson seems to have fully recovered.
And he's never even looked tired for a second. Just his head got jogged a little. Watch Pettis look for an overhand right. It's there all night.
Pettis flat against the cage here.
But he's looking like the pressure is just too much again, like it was earlier. He landed a beautiful shot in between, and that's what he was saying he needed to do. Find the openings and land.
Non-stop output and forward motion from Tony Ferguson.
I mean, he puts pressure on you like no one else in the business. Right hand to the body.
Oh.
Right hand.
Pettis forced to retreat here. Under 2 minutes to go in the round.
Oh, left hook.
Pettis has taken a lot of big shots here, Joe.
Big elbow.
I mean, Ferguson is just not.
He's sliced up the left side of him as well now.
See, the thing about Ferguson is he loves the pain.
He does. Pettis, I think, cut from that cloth as well. He is masked in blood here.
Pettis showing his toughness right now. He's not out of this. He's still throwing heat, and he can still drop Ferguson at any point. We've seen it. Oh, beautiful. Grab the hand, slip over the top with an elbow. There's the right hand. That's there all night for him if he can fire it at the right time.
Ooh, left hand lands flush for Pettis.
Oh my goodness. I can't take this after the Derek Lewis fight.
They're literally fighting in a phone booth right now.
This is amazing.
Thank you, guys. Oh my goodness.
Another elbow from Tony Ferguson. Under a minute to go in the round.
These guys are just exchanging in the corners.
Oh, that cut on Anthony Pettis is something else.
Nice elbows by Ferguson. He mixes it up so well, and he doesn't stop being offensive.
No such thing as breathing room when you're fighting Tony Ferguson.
Those are landing very heavy. Ferguson's hitting him very hard. Pettis needs to get on his bike and start moving. He can't sit here like this.
And we just got showered with blood here in the booth. Final seconds of the round. Pettis covers up. Mixed martial arts.
Gracious.
Unbelievable pressure.
Unreal fight so far.
UFC at 229, Khabib versus McGregor is presented by Harley-Davidson. When you fire up an HD motorcycle, adrenaline kicks in and refuses to tap out. Check it out at h-d.com/explore.
Breathe, Anthony. Big breath.
Yeah, we're covered with blood.
You're good. Look up. What do you want to do? If you can't go, we got to stop it. What do you want to do? You tell me. That hand's broken?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? I don't want you going out there if you can't fight the way you need to fight, all right? I can't have you fighting him if you didn't got that hand, all right? Hand's broken. Yeah,
That's
he
it.
broke his hand.
So that's the fight. Anthony Pettis breaks his right hand. Duke Roufus not going to send his longtime pupil out there. Somewhat anticlimactic, but El Cucuy is back in a big way tonight.
Can't continue.
Wow, that's surprising.
Broke his hand, can't continue.
You know, we sometimes sit here and bemoan the fact that corners don't save their fighters often enough. I know people are going to take issue with this. Any thoughts, Joe, in the immediate aftermath of that decision?
No one knows Anthony Pettis better than Duke Roufus. If Duke Roufus thinks it's a good idea to stop the fight, there's no way anyone should disagree with that. He knows what should be done, what shouldn't be done. It's one of his biggest weapons. If he broke his hand, and it seemed like he didn't want to continue either.
Yeah.
He didn't want to fight this monster with one hand.
Right.
You know, it's a good move because Tony Ferguson probably would have just beat the snot out of him.
And how about the outpouring of emotion from Tony Ferguson? We tried to set it up as best we could, but what the last 6 months have held for this absolute warrior of a human being to come back and produce the way he did tonight is truly the stuff of legends. His UFC record lightweight winning streak is now 11. And for Anthony Showtime Pettis, his stock rises in defeat here tonight. This replay brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
You can't be anything but thankful for these gentlemen for a fight like that. Incredible. And here we go. Insane. The big right hand lands. He throws an inside kick, and Pettis just hits him with a huge right hand and just puts him down. Then here you see he's cut, and he's finally just like, yes, this is what I wanted. Havoc. And he gets it. Ferguson cuts him over his left eye. Elbows, grabbing the hands the whole time. Non-stop punches, trading. These guys are fighting in a phone booth, bleeding all over each other, bleeding all over us. Reckless abandonment. Bodies were put on the shelf, and they just didn't care. And Ferguson looking back at Pettis. Got you. Got you. You're done. I see you.
Well, we build him as arguably the most exciting fighter in mixed martial arts at present. And Tony Ferguson certainly lived by those words yet again here tonight. The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS, now Metro by T-Mobile. Discover the smarter way to get unlimited and see what's new on October 8th. Bruce Buffer now with that decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of round 2, Anthony Pettis' corner has called a stop to this fight, declaring the winner by TKO, Tony El Cucuy Ferguson.
805-231, I love you, baby. XTA, home team. Christina, I fucking love you, baby. Armand Anthony, love you.
I'm here with the winner, Tony Ferguson. First of all, Tony, welcome back, and thank you for an amazing performance. That was incredible. What a wild fight for as long as it lasted.
Where you at, McNuggets, you fucking piece of shit? I'm gonna kick your ass! If fucking Khabib don't do it, I will! Son of a bitch, I'll give you a proper ass whooping any day.
Let's get back to the Pettis fight, because that was a wild fight, man. First of all, what a quick turnaround from your knee surgery to come back. Was there any concern at all that you would rush this?
No, man, no.
Now, you fought one of the best strikers in the division, walked him down, but you did get clipped at one point in the fight. How bad were you hurt?
I had fucking fun in there. There wasn't nobody was gonna take this fucking time from me. I went in there and act like it was sparring. I missed this shit for 1 year. You fucking fans are fucking amazing. I love you. I'm not gonna talk no more. I'm done. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, UFC. I'm fucking back.
Thank you, Tony. Tony Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen.
Tony Ferguson back in a big way tonight. That post-fight interview brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3. Get up to 50% off, including exclusive in-game content with the new limited-time UFC 3 Notorious Edition available on Xbox One and PS4 until October 16th. Joe Rogan.
All right, first of all, Anthony, thank you for a wild fight for as long as it lasted, and it looked like you were having a great time out there.
Hell yeah, I had a fucking great time. I'll do it again. I broke my fucking hand. The one I hit him with, broke my fucking hand, man. So I tried to put him away. It started hurting when I was throwing it, so I lost a big weapon in there, but no, ain't no fucking excuses. Tony's a fucking tough Mexican, bro. Thanks for the fight.
Well, listen, this was the old Anthony Pettis. You came out wild, you came out creative, You clipped him. You had him hurt at one point in time.
That's a tough guy, bro. I hit him with the right hand. I felt my hand shatter. I'm like, shit, you know, I should have choked him out, but he's a soldier, bro. I tested that leg, his leg, he withstood it, but I just tried to put on the show for all the fans and have a good time doing it, man. So thank y'all for coming here, bro. Had a great fucking time. Can't wait to do it again.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for an amazing fight. Anthony Pettis, ladies and gentlemen.
Gotta think some bonus money will be coming the way of Anthony Showtime Pettis and Tony Ferguson after what they produced here tonight for mixed martial arts fans around the world. Well, there he is.
Let's go,
the two-division champion, UFC light heavyweight and heavyweight king at present, our broadcast partner, Daniel Cormier. And how about the four-time major winner, Rory McIlroy, out to support Conor McGregor here tonight. Mr. Lomachenko in the building as well, one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world, taking in UFC 229 here tonight. That is the back of my shirt right now. So we are covered in blood, lathered in blood, and I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't know. For UFC 229, Khabib versus McGregor, brought to you by Harley-Davidson. When you fire up an HD motorcycle, adrenaline kicks in and refuses to tap out. Check that out at h-d.com/explore. All right, now let's pull up the lightweight fighter rankings brought to you by EA Sports UFC 3. Get up to 50% off, including exclusive in-game content with the new limited time UFC 3 Notorious edition, available on Xbox One and PS4 until October 16th. And this is what makes mixed martial arts great. You have the best fighting the best. The #1 ranked contender, Conor McGregor, who left to go pursue boxing as the lightweight champion, relinquished the title. Khabib Nurmagomedov assumed the throne in his absence. And tonight, in a matter of moments, they will lock the octagon gate behind Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor. John Anik, Joe Rogan, Dominic Cruz. So we know what Conor does early. I mean, over under 30 seconds for the first level change from Khabib. How do you expect him to handle the first minutes of this fight?
The real question is, can Khabib close the distance and get a hold of Conor? And can Conor clip him on the way in? Those are the big questions. Those are the questions we're going to get answered very, very quickly. The next question, if Khabib takes Conor down, can Conor get back up? Those are the two big questions.
That's what it comes down to. And the missing link on the stand-up that makes this fight different than anybody is two things. One, Conor McGregor is a southpaw. We haven't seen Khabib do very well striking with some southpaws as we've seen. Problem number two, Conor McGregor can knock people out moving backwards. He hasn't dealt with anybody that has fought him that moves backwards and can knock you out. Conor McGregor can do this. So if Khabib's pressuring forward the whole time, he's got to be careful. It's got to be in and out, because if he just non-stop pressures, he's going to get clipped on the way in. He has to be very cautious, and a lot of fakes have to be mixed in there, or Conor will get his timing and will hit him.
Then the big question is the spectacle. How does Khabib handle the spectacle? Because this is bigger than anything he's ever experienced. We know Conor rises to the occasion. The Jose Aldo fight's a perfect example of that. He came into that octagon like he owned the building.
Right.
Can Khabib eat the pressure in the way Conor does?
And can he take the punches? I mean, the bottom line is, can he take the damage? We've seen Khabib does get hit. It is a fact. It's not like he never gets hit. Can he take the power of Conor McGregor while he goes for the takedown? And can he time the takedown? Or does Conor McGregor have the nice punch count that he makes it so that Khabib has to stand with him? There's a lot of questions in this.
There's so many questions.
Oh, and we're getting answers soon. With that setup, there ends the wait for the biggest fight in UFC history. Khabib Nurmagomedov, the undisputed champion, welcoming back the Irish superstar Conor McGregor. Let's see how it plays out.
Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Conor McGregor is one of those fights where the moment it gets announced, you get goosebumps and you go, whoa, here we go.
The reason that this fight is so big and the reason that people are so fired up about this fight, it's two of the best in the world in their prime, fighting when they should be fighting.
This fight shows you the type of man that Conor McGregor is. He said, I want the toughest challenge available. I want the one that everybody says I can't win.
In Khabib, you have a guy that is 26-0, undefeated. That's unreal. At 26 wins, guys tend to make mistakes. Khabib has never done that.
This is the most intriguing stylistic matchups, and without a doubt, the biggest fight in the history of the lightweight division, and in my opinion, the biggest fight in the history of the UFC.
He never fight with someone like me.
Oh, he's getting mauled. Barbosa's face says it all.
Who have so much pressure, so much dominate with his opponent.
Michael should tap or he's gonna break his arm. He's gonna break his arm. Hit is all over.
No, this is my style, crush my opponents.
He has been unrivaled inside the octagon. I mean, he's just an unprecedented phenom of a talent. We're talking maulings and massacres.
Knock. Where's Conor? I want to fight with your chicken because this is #1 easy fight in lightweight division.
We are ready here. We are ready for war. We are ready for all outcomes, all situations, all scenarios. I am in a war state of mind. You're looking at a fighting veteran. I've been through it all. I've been on the boxing side and I've been on this side. I came back for the love of fighting and the love of war, and this I am going to truly, truly love, putting a bad beating on this little glass jaw rat.
Oh, he's hurt! Could he finish him here? Wow.
My belt has been never taken from my waist, so they've got to build up these fake champions. But here I am, returned to take back my throne.
I know he is afraid of a smack. And if you're afraid of a smack off me, a smack will feel like a double-barrel shotgun.
Oh! He slapped him! Like that!
What you gonna do if you don't knock me out? You have to knock me out first or second round. What you gonna do? I'm gonna keep going. If you don't knock me out, it's gonna be a very long night to him.
Trust me, mate. I'm ready for a long night. Now you're up on the real kid. You're with the real dogs now, brother, yeah? He's in over his head. I'm gonna pick him apart and bully him in there and absolutely maul him.
My dream smash him, make him humble. I wanna change his face. We have to finish him.
Yes, yes, yes.
$100 million payday in a boxing match with Floyd Mayweather. Some suggested he would never return, but Joe, if you know the man, you know he cares deeply about mixed martial arts and his MMA legacy. And now the first UFC fighter to simultaneously hold 2 UFC titles is back to pick up where he left off.
He loves this. When you have $100 million in the bank, you do this because you love this. He loves this, he loves being the champion, and he truly believes that he has the style to reclaim his throne.
Tonight's fire up an HD motorcycle, adrenaline kicks in and refuses to tap out. Check it out at h-d.com/explore.
Because of his personality, because of his skill set, because of his spectacular success inside the octagon, it makes this so interesting. I mean, this is such a heated moment of anticipation. I can't wait, Dominic Cruz. I can't wait.
And it's so exciting to be here and to get to call this fight because every single ounce of this is going to be technique at the highest level. When they're grappling, it's going to be technique at the highest level. When they're striking, it's going to be chess match. It's going to be non-stop reads. And Conor McGregor is one of the best in the world at finding that pinpoint timing and making it count to put on the show for the world. It is going to be epic.
And here comes the strut. Woo!
25th Pro Mixed Martial Arts contest for Conor McGregor. 11th UFC appearance. He is 9-1, a 9-time UFC bonus winner in his 10 UFC fights. 18 career wins by knockout or TKO. Few understand and manage distance better than the notorious Conor McGregor. Have failed to solve Khabib Nurmagomedov in a mixed martial arts setting. In modern-day MMA, it's an absolutely incredible accomplishment. And tonight, with status as the most dominant force in the game, Khabib Nurmagomedov is chasing the biggest win of his career.
He is an unparalleled grappler. There's literally been no one like him in this division. Mauls world-class fighters. And if you talk to people like Daniel Cormier, who shared the gym with him, he mauls world-class wrestlers on a regular basis. He's the best grappler we have ever seen in the lightweight division. The question is, can he get a hold of Conor? And if he can get a hold of Conor, can Conor survive what 26 others have not been able to?
And the big question for me is, how does he deal with the pressure at this magnitude? This is what we haven't seen. He's faced some studs, but this is another level of pressure, another level without his father in his corner, another level without some of the people he's used to having with him, not here. And on top of that, this is for contendership of the world. Literally, when you're fighting Conor McGregor, you're not fighting for your division. You're not fighting for something little. This is for the world. This is for the #1 pound-for-pound spot. It is huge. And is Khabib Nurmagomedov good enough at grappling to get what he needs to as a one-dimensional fighter? That's what he showed up as. Nobody's ever tested him besides one dimension. Is he good enough to do that? Is he good enough to get down to Conor McGregor? We're about to find out very soon.
His record, 21 takedowns landed in a 15-minute fight, will likely stand the test of time. Last appearance, he became became the undisputed champion by beating Al Iaquinta back in April. Only landed 6 of his 15 takedown attempts that night. But, Joe, it's what he does with those takedowns. The wrist control, the leg control on the ground just usually makes for a suffocating night at the office for his opponent.
I've never been more excited for a fight.
I agree.
Khabib Nurmagomedov, 26-0. He has never been knocked down in an MMA fight. Perhaps that chin will be tested like never before tonight by the left hand, the right hand, and everything else that Conor McGregor brings to the table as a striker. Khabib versus Conor. Here we are. This Tale of the Tape brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Khabib Nurmagomedov just turned 30. Conor McGregor also 30 years old as of July 14th. Nurmagomedov 1 inch taller. McGregor will try to maximize a 4-inch advantage in reach. All right, now for the official introductions for our main event. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Anthony Marnell, Executive Director Bob Bennett, Commissioners Stacey Alonso, Christopher Alt, Dallas E. Hahn, and Dr. Robert McBeath. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Derek Cleary, Sal Diamato, and Junichiro Kamijo. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Herb Dean. This bout is sponsored by Harley-Davidson. Get your first taste of Harley-Davidson adrenaline at h-d.com. And P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. Metro PCS is now Metro by T-Mobile. Discover the smarter way to get unlimited and see what's new on October 8th. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've truly all been waiting for. Live from the sold-out T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, it's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 21 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 154 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Dublin, Ireland, presenting the former UFC featherweight champion, the former UFC lightweight champion, and the #1 ranked lightweight contender in the world, the challenger, the pride of Ireland, the Notorious Conor McGregor. And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding an undefeated professional record, 26 wins, no losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Dagestan, Russia, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC lightweight champion of the world, Khabib, the Eagle, Nurmagomedov.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're gonna keep this clean. Touch gloves now if you wish to. All right, let's do this.
Well, if you bet that the fighters would not touch gloves, cash those tickets, and wherever you are in the world tonight, one way or another, we will all witness a piece of UFC history. The King is back, looking to regain his throne. And we are underway. This Fight Clock brought to you by Modelo Especial, brew with a fighting spirit since 1925. McGregor in green, Nurmagomedov in black. McGregor lands early.
Pressure right off the bat by Conor. He's trying to force the shot out of Khabib with pressure instead of waiting for Khabib to come at him.
Khabib got a hold of his ankles. He's got his leg.
And what he's got to do is get his left leg over the back ankle of Khabib's right leg. He needs to get that. Conor needs the left leg behind the ankle of Khabib in order to stuff this. And now he's got it. But a good defense by Conor so far.
Look at this.
Got the ankles. As long as he stays on the ankle, he's good.
He's doing a fantastic job of defending. Look at him spinning around. Khabib looking to complete the takedown, and he gets it.
Man.
Conor gets right up to the cage. Let's see if he can get back up to his feet. This is one of the big questions. He's got his feet tied up well. Look how good Khabib has done a job of wrapping those two legs up together.
This is what he does to everybody he fights. He crosses your legs, and now if your legs can't get away, then you can't get up. You're pinned to the floor. And he's done this better than anybody. He elevates and straightens your legs out. And now what he's going to do is try to lift Conor's knees and legs higher than Conor's head so that he can't move. Conor's just got to stay calm and not use his energy because he's not taking damage here.
It feels like he's far better equipped to handle 5 rounds than he was when he left in 2016.
Khabib does such a good job of wrapping those legs up, extending them and wrapping them up so you can't get them out from under you.
I've never seen anybody be able to straighten a leg out like that. The way he hangs and he almost knee bars you by collecting your heel up. It's just different how he holds you there. Most people can get away when you do that, but when Khabib grabs your legs, he just keeps them.
Yeah, he's doing it again. Look at him pinch those legs together.
He does it different, and they cross every single time. He crosses them over each other.
He's just so good at squeezing.
This is what you got to do to Conor early, though. If you're Khabib, you have to do this early. You can't try to give him all the rest he needs in the first couple rounds. That's when Conor's the most dangerous.
Couple right hands have landed for Khabib. His first strikes of the fight. McGregor trying to control his breathing. Ate a big right hand there.
And what Conor's doing is he's trying to dig underhooks and stay in a ball so there's no hooks. So Conor, see how he's got over the top of Khabib's head or his arms? He needs to get in between the arms and legs of Khabib if he's going to get up. He can't be on the outside of Khabib's arms here.
Again, Khabib ties those legs up together. It's just tremendous how he does it. And it's something that you see him do against every single guy he fights. They know what he wants to do. They can't stop it.
He's got a different type of pressure from here. I think he's just extremely strong as well. And now he's under the back of Conor, so that Conor can't get his hips underneath him.
It's a lifetime of grappling.
And you do have a referee in Herb Dean that is going to give Khabib every opportunity to work on the ground, especially when he has the legs trapped.
Right now we're seeing Conor okay because he's not taking damage, so he's staying very calm so he doesn't waste his energy. But once he gets wore out from this grappling, then you're going to start seeing Khabib posture up and start landing the big punches. But he can't do it too soon because otherwise Conor will get away. He's got to play the squeeze game right now. Nice pass, straight to half guard. And now the pressure is just heavy here. You could tell he's extremely heavy. That left shoulder and the chin of Conor really makes it minimal for Conor to be able to get to a hip.
He does a tremendous job, and he keeps you from being able to breathe. Pressure on the chest, and then the overwhelming sensation that he can continue to do this as long as he wants. And that is exhausting in and of itself.
I love that he's just being patient, though. This is what you've got to do to Conor early. You can't be silly and try to pretend that you're going to give him space to stand up. You've got to smother him and try to take some of the wind out of his sails early so he's not so powerful. Take some of that pop away and then take some chances after that if you're Khabib.
And Conor can't use too much explosive energy to try to get up without technique. If he does that, he knows he's going to burn himself out, and he knows if he can't stop Khabib, Khabib's going to be able to do this in the second, the third, the fourth, and then how long can he keep him away from him?
Well, don't forget, Conor used literally no energy right now because he took no damage. He did get stuck on the floor, but he has no, so this second round he'll be fresh. Let's see what he does with it.
Exactly the start that Khabib Nurmagomedov was looking for in round one.
McGregor, you know the shots get slower as the rounds go on. That was his absolute best there.
Yeah, you did everything good, everything good. How you feel it? How you feel so?
Keep your chin down, okay? Keep your chin down, hands up.
If you grab his leg, just push him against the cage and then take him down from there.
Dom, any thoughts on that messaging there from Javier Mendez and crew?
The Javier Mendez is okay, that's great, but they look a little frantic. I mean, that would make me feel crazy in there. Yeah, like, let's calm down a little guy, give him some real feedback. I don't know.
Well, every mixed martial arts round begins on the feet. Let's see how it goes here early round two.
Conor knows he can land that left whenever he wants, so that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for that counter. He's waiting to force Khabib to take a bad shot and then make him pay for it. That's what we're seeing here.
McGregor fires the knee, appeared to just miss.
Nasty right hand.
Wow.
And that's the problem with takedowns, is they gain the respect of the striker. Your striking gets better if you force takedowns because you're thinking about the shot. And now the shot's set up from the overhand. He goes back and forth, and that's what's made Nurmagomedov the best. That right hand.
Wow. What an entry by Nurmagomedov, and now he has McGregor up against the fence, 4+ minutes with which to work.
And this is what Khabib has done to everybody. If you stuff his wrestling, then he's going to punch you. Once you start getting punched, his wrestling opens back up, and that's why you need a threat of grappling and striking mixed together. But realistically, the sharpness goes to Conor in the striking, but the grappling is just so one-dimensional and so over. Like, he's just so much better.
He's working an arm triangle here. He's got it up. He's on top of him, full mount.
Good scramble by Conor, getting his guard back. Butterfly, not full guard.
The Khabib's all over him here.
And McGregor exploded there to try to escape, nothing doing. 90 seconds gone by here, round two.
And the moral victory of Khabib landing that big right hand. Oh, big ground and pound.
And Khabib said he wanted to make Conor suffer.
He also said he wanted to change his face. This is one of the scariest things I've ever heard a person say about a fight.
Well, not unlike Tony Ferguson, Khabib can go all day. Oh, big right hands landing from Nurmagomedov, who came into this fight unquestionably in the best shape of his life.
Conor's talking to him. I can't hear what he's saying, but he's getting tagged.
Well, that's Khabib talking, and he's not saying nice things.
Oh! Big elbow from Nurmagomedov did not appear to cut McGregor open.
The power he generates from this ground and pound is just interesting. I don't understand, because you can hear it landing over and over.
It's just ferocious. I mean, he's the best ground and pound artist in the sport. Oh! Conor's getting lit up. Conor's in serious trouble.
Oh, massive ground strikes here. Herb Dean watching closely.
Khabib is trying to smash his face.
McGregor forced to just cover up. How many shots can one man take? 2 minutes to go in the round.
And he's trying to gas Khabib out, because he's taking shots, but they're not the worst shots you could take. He's covered up. It just doesn't look good.
I don't think he's trying to gas Khabib out. I think he's getting smashed.
I think it's a mixture of everything.
I don't think he has a choice here. I don't think he's trying to gas him out. I think he's getting smashed.
I agree, but if you have no choice either.
Illegal knee on the ground by Conor. A knee to the head of a downed opponent.
Can't interlock the toes in the fence. McGregor got away with that one, still doing it. Herb Dean should be warning him there.
He's going for a Kimura here.
That is tight. That looks like it's going to get finished here, ladies and gentlemen. That's tight. Good defense. It's like Conor's not even sure. Why isn't he trying to get up?
Because he's exhausted and he's getting his face punched in. And I don't think he can. I just think Khabib is so much better on the ground that he's surprised.
I agree.
Nurmagomedov's output hasn't waned one bit.
Now remember, we're dealing with the old rules here, so Khabib has to wait until he's fully up to hit him with knees.
Crowd goes bananas as McGregor gets upright, but for how long?
And he's taking some big, deep breaths.
30 seconds here in round 2.
Khabib can keep this pace for 5.
And I don't believe Conor has a stoppage win in the UFC after the second round.
That is correct.
Conor hasn't had an answer at all for the grappling Khabib in one bit.
Nurmagomedov with a huge second round, likely a 10-8.
It's those low singles coming from halfway across the cage now.
Draw him on, Conor. Pop the jab and pull out. Let him fall into the space. Straight overputs down.
Do not chase him this round. Draw him on. If you push him back, you can spend the first minute just getting your recovery.
Khabib is not even tired here. This is what's terrifying. Look at this right hand. Boom. Clips him on the chin. Drops him. Let's see it again. Winging right hand. And as you said, Dominic Cruz, he was looking for the takedown, and that's why he got hit by the right hand. It takes you back to Crow Cop versus Kevin Randleman. Same sort of situation.
You gotta respect a takedown, especially when you don't get up.
Round 3 brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. John Kavanagh not wanting McGregor to chase. We'll see if he can oblige.
Kavanagh said pressure to get your air back. You can get a little air if you pressure in the beginning. And now Khabib's tired too, don't forget that. The striking, he's full of blood. They both are.
Perhaps McGregor sensing that now.
McGregor looking for that big left hand.
Khabib used tons of energy on that ground and pound, Joe. Tons. That was a crazy pace, that last round.
Well, we did see him slow down considerably against Al Iaquinta in the later rounds.
And now you're seeing Conor go at the body. That's the same thing he did to Mendez. He waited 2 rounds and started teeping at the body, and then starts going up high. There it is. There's the teeps to the body. He's just trying to take their out of Khabib, letting Khabib wrestle himself out. Because you gotta, it can go both ways.
Well, you hate to read too much into the body language, but this is as fatigued as I've seen Khabib Nurmagomedov in that octagon.
I don't know if he looks fatigued to me. It doesn't look like he's breathing heavy. It looks like he's trying to find his moments, but he's getting outboxed.
Yeah, I don't think he's tired. I think he's just a little heavy from the grappling last round, but he's not tired per se. His muscles are full of blood, so he's a little slower. And that's where Conor can use his left.
And there's the shot.
And that's what his coaches, that's what they were talking about.
He stuffed that one. Oh, elbow by Conor.
That's what Kavanagh was talking about. Said the first couple shots are going to come heavy. Later, they won't be so heavy. Big right hand by Khabib.
Just over 3 minutes here in this 3rd round. Level change from Khabib.
He stuffs that as well. Look at this. This is where it's getting interesting. Now, the real question is, how much endurance does Conor have now? How much has he worked on his conditioning? And how do you prepare for a guy like Nurmagomedov? Nice seeing the body by Conor.
Those knees to the body will add up, and so will the punches and the kick teeps.
Oh, uppercut.
McGregor feints.
These guys are staring each other in the face right at time, no range at all. They're just sitting there punching, exchanging.
McGregor continues to bank that body work.
Seeing Khabib standing right in front of Conor like this is crazy.
I don't understand why he doesn't shoot, why he doesn't mix it up.
Oh, he clipped him the left hand. Oh!
He slapped him. He slapped him on that one.
Front kick to the body by Conor. He's pawing with that punch. Having a hard time getting that snap back.
And Khabib standing right in front of perhaps the best striker in UFC history. McGregor to the body again.
Good left hand to the body there by Conor. Another good knee.
Khabib to the body. He doesn't seem to fear the power coming back from McGregor as yet. Trip by Nurmagomedov, gets McGregor down briefly.
Back up to his feet, though. Very interesting.
Slight edge in terms of the significant strikes in round 3 for Conor. Less than a minute to go in the round.
And you see how Conor's collecting the left arm of Khabib. That stops him from being able to connect his hands, and he can't double off or grab a single leg. If you can't lock your hands together, you can't finish a takedown. So Conor's leaning against the fence and just controlling one arm.
So what does Khabib do to counter that?
You got to try to get a single leg the best you can, because you can't get a double as long as Conor's controlling your wrist. Here's grabbing the glove there. You can't clasp your hands together. The only thing you can do is keep the pressure like he's doing, so you're not getting picked apart. But you got to see, he's got his glove. He's got his glove underneath it.
Keep fighting, keep fighting.
So he's just holding it so he can't complete the takedown.
Stop.
15 minutes in the books. We head to the championship rounds.
Grabbing. What did Khabib just say to him?
Couldn't understand it.
Here. No, too much work.
Okay. Here. Hey,
he shouldn't be talking.
I want him. Put his mouth, yes, he's got it.
Give me a little bit more push.
Khabib there protesting to the referee, Herb Dean, that 3 times Conor McGregor has held the glove.
The championship rounds, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go. And Khabib, if you've watched his career, you know he's not in his element unless he is jabbing and talking to whomever. The referee, his opponent, round 4.
Watch the counter left hand of Conor. It's what he's been setting up. He's waiting for the right hand of Khabib.
Oh, Conor looks very good coming out for this 4th round.
I swear, I think this is when he was looking to try to get him, wait for Khabib to get a little tired on the takedowns and look to knock him out later. You would think it'd be the other way around, though.
Second time for both of these fighters to have seen a 4th round in their careers.
That jabbing front kick to the body. He used that fantastically against Chad Mendes, and he's using it here again tonight. There it is again.
You're so worried about the power in his hands that sometimes you forget about his legs.
Good entry by Nurmagomedov. McGregor trying to use the fence to his advantage. And he gets tripped right down. Too good.
He does such a good job of using his legs to wrap up your legs. But Conor's back up to his feet almost.
And this is where Khabib really starts to get ahead from this position. Once he gets here, he doesn't let go of that grip. And he goes back and forth between the double, and he wears you out by putting all that pressure on your arms like that. Makes you carry his weight up against the fence. He's done this time and time again, and when you try to stand up without hand control, he throws you.
Another warning from Herb Dean for a fence grab there.
His grappling is just one step ahead.
Just tremendous control on the ground.
4 of 7 on the takedowns for Nurmagomedov. But it's what he does with them. 2 minutes have gone by here in round 4.
Got an arm triangle almost, but Conor got weaseled his other arm in there.
It's in there, but it's still, the fact that he can pin the head against the arm is just, it's a big part of securing that. If he can control that, now he stepped the arm over, but now Conor regained that arm.
The one thing Conor has done is stayed pretty safe. He's just getting controlled very badly is the only difference.
Good hip escape there by Conor. Needs to keep going if he has the energy. But again, Khabib uses those legs to tie his legs up. I mean, it's a big part of his grappling. It's not just grappling with his arms, but utilizing his legs for control.
Big left hands from Nurmagomedov.
Again, full mount, back mount.
There's the choke.
He's got it, it's under the neck.
There it is.
Nope, it's on the chin.
There's the tap. Still undisputed. Khabib Nurmagomedov has finished Conor McGregor tonight.
Look at him. Look at him screaming at the corner. He's screaming at Dylan Dennis, Conor McGregor's jiu-jitsu coach. Look at him. Oh,
and now Khabib jumps the fence.
No.
Whoa! No! And he's going right at Dylan Dennis. Mayhem! Oh, no. Total chaos here. It looks like UFC security has corralled Khabib Nurmagomedov. Well, Khabib wasn't kidding when he said no handshake after the fight. Oh! And now one of Nurmagomedov's teammates throws a right hand at Conor. All hell has broken loose.
This is crazy.
And this is not...
Well, this is
not something we're going to like, nothing we're going to condone. It's not something we want to promote. This is not professionalism, but it is the fight game to an extent.
This is horrible.
It can get nasty.
This is the nastiest I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is not how you want it to be in this sport. This is not how we want to represent ourselves.
Jumping out of the octagon like that and attacking someone in the crowd.
And I think...
I mean, that is so stupid and so unnecessary and so foolish. After such a spectacular victory.
And one of Khabib's teammates, I believe, Zubair Tuhugov, landed a right-hand flush on Conor McGregor in there. This is going to stain an incredible performance for Khabib Nurmagomedov, and out of character for him, too.
Yeah, this is not the way you want to represent the sport here.
Well, Conor McGregor showed you the championship heart tonight. He had a few moments in the middle of this fight, but as many expected, Khabib Nurmagomedov, once again, for all his contemporaries, just too much. Too much on the ground. Had the striking going tonight.
But I feel like this entire event has been marred by him jumping out of the octagon and attacking Dylan Dennis like that. It's just the whole thing is so foolish.
Well, it just ruins everything in it.
And then his teammates jumping into the octagon, punching Conor McGregor. I mean, this is just crazy.
It's a habit. And I think they connected pretty heavy on Conor.
Yes.
They hit him from
right
behind.
in front of us. Dana White in there trying to restore order.
And Conor wasn't participating in this, by the way. They jumped him when he was just recovering from getting beaten.
Well, hopefully the worst of this is behind us, but drinks are starting to fly a little bit in here.
And Khabib is back inside the octagon now.
How do we let these people back in here? Why don't we just separate them? I mean,
well, I don't know if there's enough security in the world, because more people who are in dispute here are moving towards the cage, and I don't know if there's enough security to get them out of there.
Khabib perhaps trying to explain himself here to Dana.
Yeah, you don't want to be anywhere near the press conference after this.
Daniel Cormier in there now, supporting his teammate Khabib Nurmagomedov, Luke Rockhold as well. But one thing that is undisputed about Conor McGregor is that he is honorable in defeat, Joe, respectful in defeat, and he did not deserve that right hand, the wayward right hand from a teammate inside the octagon after losing a mixed martial arts fight.
No, that was disgusting. It was two things disgusting. Khabib jumping out of the octagon and attacking Dylan Dennis was foolish. But Khabib's friends jumping into the octagon and attacking Conor, who had no idea that they were there, just jumped on him. It was completely cowardly. And just, I know they're friends with him and they got caught up in the moment, but it's so unnecessary, so terrible for the sport, and ruins this moment, which is an incredible moment for Khabib.
And we have to get back to it. To that end, this replay brought to you by Nemiroff, bold character since 1872.
Well, let's take a look at it here. This is the end of the fight. Khabib takes Conor down. Again, ties up his legs, gets his back, drags him to the ground. Got his back, got his neck, got under the neck, was cranking his neck. It was really more of a neck crank than it was even a choke. If you look at it, he's not even under the chin. And Conor forced the tap. And Khabib's still furious. Even after Conor taps, Khabib's getting up. He screams at him. I mean, this is awful. Incredible performance by Khabib. But then to have this afterwards is just so disappointing.
Well, and Khabib is such a calculated, well-thought individual that it's going to be interesting to hear from him as to why he exploded in such fashion. He's asking where his belt is now. Mick Maynard, our matchmaker, holding on to the gold, but...
You know, and this is not going to end here. This is what's unfortunate. This is going to spill out onto the streets. There's a lot of Russian fans. There's a lot of Irish fans.
A lot of alcohol.
There's a lot of booze and a lot of chaos.
The big picture of this whole thing is you're a champion and you got to carry yourself as one. And now everybody who follows you is going to be instigated by this as well. So yeah, you're right, Joe. There's going to be fights everywhere tonight.
Just when you thought maybe you had seen it all. An amazing night of mixed martial arts competition, somewhat marred here late by the fight after the fight.
Dana White's in front of us right now, just disgusted by the whole thing.
Saying that Khabib probably won't be fighting again for a long time, and maybe not Conor either.
Well, Conor didn't do anything. I mean, Conor lost, but he stayed there and he got attacked.
True.
Khabib jumped out of the octagon, attacked Dylan Dennis. His friends jumped into the octagon and attacked Conor. Conor didn't even retaliate. I mean, he got jumped.
Yeah, that's what it amounts to.
What's crazy is Khabib doing that. He's going to get fined. He's likely going to get suspended. This is awful.
It's just not a pretty way to become champion, in my opinion. It's not how I would want it.
And just, I can't overstate how out of character it is for the eternally composed Khabib Nurmagomedov, sure.
Well, he's a respectful man, and when he's disrespected, he takes it extremely personally. He doesn't think this is just a game. This isn't fun. It's not promotion. For him, this is deeply, deeply personal.
It's rooted. It went all the way to families for these two gentlemen, so it's a big deal for both of them.
Here's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is, this is what I believe. If I put this belt on you, everybody's going to start throwing shit into the octagon.
Are you ready for this?
Not other people might get hurt.
So they're going to usher Khabib Nurmagomedov out of the octagon.
And Dana White said he wasn't going to put Khabib's belt on him. This is crazy. This is absolutely the craziest moment I've ever seen in all my years of calling fights.
It was already the biggest fight of all time, and now it's spilled out into something completely different.
It's awful because it's such a black eye on the sport. You know, I mean, it was a great night. It was a spectacular victory for Khabib. And to have all this play out like that, is so incredibly disappointed. So incredibly disappointing.
And Nurmagomedov seemed hell-bent on getting that belt inside the octagon, but they will usher him out. He will not talk to Joe Rogan. We will
I mean, they're throwing things at him. He's going to experience hate like he's never experienced in his entire career. If he thought he experienced hate before this is going to be on a whole nother level.
All right, the official decision brought to you by Metro PCS, now Metro by T-Mobile. Discover the smarter way to get unlimited and see what's new on October 8th. One final time tonight. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 3 seconds of the 4th round. Declaring the winner by submission due to a rear naked choke, and still the undisputed UFC lightweight champion of the world, Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov.
EA Sports UFC 3, get up to 50% off, including exclusive in-game content with the new limited-time UFC 3 Notorious edition available on Xbox One and PS4 until October 16th.
It's so weird to watch them run a commercial now.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
It's so surreal.
I'm just glad we didn't send you in there, my man.
Yeah, I know, right? I would have got run over.
I know you kick hard, but...
Please. I would have got run over.
What would have been your technique of choice?
Running, jumping over the cage. I mean, I would have tried to talk some sense into Khabib. I wish someone had grabbed him and said, don't do this. Just don't do this. I mean, I can't believe we needed more security. We had more security here than I've ever seen in any fight ever before. Everybody anticipated this was going to be a hot moment where there's going to be a lot of tension. But to have this play out the way it played out is just, it's so disappointing.